Can't believe we're finally here. Oh, wait. We should probably say an intro for the video.
Hey guys, welcome back for another Attack on Titan tier list video. I'm Fourthcast, and this is my invaders.
Thanks.
So, yeah, we're going to be ranking the Return to Shiganshina arc, which is, I think everyone loves this arc. We're expecting to love these episodes, so let's get right into it.
I think everyone agrees this arc is definitely a lot better than Uprising.
I think a lot of people like it more than the stuff that follows, too. Even a lot of people who love the ending.
Yeah, and I think it also doesn't have the Uprising problem of cutting a billion things.
If you guys do like this video, please leave a like. It really does help us out, and subscribe.
This is where Lost Girls episode 3 happens.
Really? Do you want to put Lost Girls at the beginning of this? No, I'm kidding.
No,
that would destroy viewer
yeah.
retention. People would click off.
Yeah, they would. No, if you want to see Lost Girls, that'll be at the end of this one.
I'm so excited. We put off Lost Girls for multiple seasons now.
That is a really hype intro, though. I've always thought that was cool. Even in the manga that's there, so he knew this was like a big deal. What do you think about this opening?
It has some cool visuals. The rainbow thing's always been a little weird, but
I like the rainbow. I like the rainbow thing.
I like it too, but why? Monkey Man. That's what he says in the opening there.
That's a really cool shot. I love the Titans being built.
I love the slow motion bit here.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. The song is fine. The song's like the worst one easily.
Yeah, I agree. In the Japanese version, it makes it look like the birds shit out the credits.
Oh, because there's a splatter?
Yeah, it makes it.
That's awesome. I never thought that the birds ate some Skittles. I think I've pretty much every time I've watched this arc with someone, I've pretty much binged the entire thing in like one night.
Yeah. I did with you, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's a weird like thing to set up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Why they make it seem like the Moonlight Titans will come back? They never do. I mean, I guess they're just considering that. They don't understand why that happened that one time. He doesn't really ever explain why Zeke's Titans can move at night, but the Colossal Wall Titans can too. So I always think looks into Aaron's mentality are so interesting because there's always just something slightly off. And I mean, it makes sense now that we have the interview where he said he planned from the start for Aaron's arc to be a villain arc, which is really interesting to me because I thought it was something he came up with later, but putting this into the context of he was always going to go too far with it is really fascinating. I mean, that's what the purpose of this scene is, right? Or it's
that he was like bored until he had something to attack.
Yeah, to an extent, but it's more just reinforcing what his motive is. What is she recognizing there?
That's episode 1 where they came to get firewood. That would have made more sense if that was like the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, where is it? Oh, there's the breathing tube. You see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never actually noticed that they emphasize that like that.
Because Zeke has all those guys underground. That's such a weird detail to include.
It is a weird thing to do.
He never explains it either. It's just a kind of thing you notice if you go back and look for it.
And I don't think I've ever, like, no one I've ever watched with has, like, questioned it. Oh, that's awesome.
This is awesome.
They blew their budget on that. You'd think they would try to clean that up.
I could see them not doing it, especially because they didn't have very long to prepare. I think Peak literally saw them a few minutes ago and came back and told them. And also, I don't think they were anticipating that Armin would gather that much info from a little scorch mark on the ground. This arc is very blue. A lot of people don't like that. I think it looks cool though.
It's cool.
It gives like an early morning vibe.
I've always liked that. It's like 6 a.m. or whatever. I think it's easy to hate these like blue gray tints because there's so much of it in the early 2010s. But this is like something that deserves that.
That was crazy, by the way.
Yeah,
did you see the
really
handprint on the wall?
Wit is so good, man. His Titan looks so good there. That's such a cool representation of the hardening. I've never noticed that.
What is?
The way it like freezes up to his like tendril connections and he has to pull away. Who's that guy behind Levi?
No one. I would have liked if Wit reused some of their generic designs from season 1 and 2 here. That would have been cool. Like Dieter. Dieter would have been perfect here because we know he could still be alive, but not after the boulder throwing. He's confirmed dead by then.
Yeah, he might have died. He might even be alive here.
It's always been funny that Mikasa gives him her coat, considering if they wanted to find him, they just look for Mikasa. He's probably the one next to her.
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, right. It's Dirk. I've seen a lot of people ask why didn't Marley send a full invasion force at this point? And I think the answer is simple. From Zeke's perspective, these are a bunch of like backwater. What am I trying to say? They're like nothing. They're like nothing to them. Zeke has just destroyed them to this point. I don't think any of the warriors thought that they had any serious chance of winning.
Mm-hmm. It's all Erwin, Armin, and Aaron here pretty much. I mean, and Levi.
Dirk was not doing well there.
Was
Why?
he
Who
not?
put him in charge?
Should have been Donji or Levi or literally anyone else. Do you think Dirk was mad that Armin got put above him?
It's still so stupid to me that we're supposed to believe that Dirk has any authority here.
He's been here the whole time.
I've seen this confuse some people. They're like, "Oh, there's a Titan above him."
Oh, yeah. But it has a red filter, not a blue filter. People
Yeah.
should know it's not current.
Yeah, they probably should have clarified
They
that
probably
it's not
shouldn't have-
actually there.
Put that face in there.
Well, he's remembering that they're in there.
Yeah.
It's always been cool to me how there's no hesitation when he just calls it off.
Erwin's so good this season.
Does it bother you that they don't search the obvious holes above the gate?
Oh, yeah, that would be the biggest thing, right? Because that's not where that's where Titans
Yeah.
aren't.
That's never made sense to me. So the
Why
walls
they
are,
wouldn't prioritize it?
well, that, but also why is that there if the walls are made of Titan hardening? Did they add that later, like manually?
It must be made out of lesser material.
Yeah, it must be stuck on top, right, by later builders.
I love Reiner. Reiner looks so suspicious here when he leans his face
Yeah.
out.
They censor his neck wound with the sword
Oh,
falling.
Yeah. Whose sword is that? Is that Reiner's sword?
I'm not sure. I think it was other guys. Okay, would anyone have complained if he just said I didn't cut deep enough?
Yeah, or like I missed the nape or something like that.
Or like what the armored titan's nape is harder than most. Okay, this is a fine
Anything
explanation.
but I transferred my consciousness.
This is a really cool scene though with the music going.
But he transfers his consciousness twice in this arc, right?
Yes, two separate times.
I love that this Titan's just like dead on arrival here.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Because if it wasn't for Zeke immediately distracting them, they could have totally specialized into fucking up Reiner on the
Oh,
ground
yeah.
there.
The Titans look so evil in this arc.
With their glowing eyes, yeah. They're like FNAF animatronics.
It's always been cool to me that such a minor thing is just like screws them over so badly.
They should have put all their time into clearing the boulders.
Oh, there's Peak's first appearance.
Yeah.
But isn't that weird? It's the pathway being blocked is what creates this drama here. It's like it's
Mhm.
such a simple thing, but
It is
completely-
like real warfare, yeah.
That's what it is. It's like it creates like a supply line problem.
Yeah, little chokeholds like that, like in real war, that's so real.
Do you think they should have kept Peak's original design for this arc?
No,
It was
it looks so
awful.
bad. I like the CD.
Yeah, I like it. It's just a slideshow though. Can't help but notice Flock is not here.
This would be the time to put him in.
Yeah,
This would be the time to be like, okay, there he is with Mina Carolina.
I think if they did that, people would be like, who's this?
No one cares about Thomas Wagner. He could totally just be a guy there.
Yeah, but even casual viewers would be like, why are they pretending this character's been here the whole time?
They're already doing it. Might as well double down.
Well, the anime does remove the scene in the training camp where Flock is there. They didn't adapt that.
They put like Franz and Hannah in these shots. They could totally put Flock in like one.
Well, I think Wit probably didn't realize he was supposed to be there the whole time. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's like a great. That is a great one. I would say high B.
I agree. We're agreeing on everything again, but it is a high B because it's on its own. It's not like crazy, but it's such a good intro to the arc.
It sets the tone. The ending, like it really just like the tension rises throughout it really consistently and really well.
Yeah,
Every time I've watched that, I've watched this, like a dozen times with different people, and
Yeah.
every time that one is like a oh shit.
yeah. The speech at the start really sets the mood, and then I like the conversation that Aaron and Armin have. It's really fundamental. I love the scene where they're going into the city. I love how it feels like something's wrong, and then everything does go wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's such a great building tension throughout the whole thing.
And,
Great Armin, great Erwin, just such a solid one. This opening is like, it's only really relevant half the season. It feels like so starkly not relevant. in the
It
second
is.
half of the season.
I've always thought they should stop playing it after Midnight Sun, and
Mhm.
they do. They don't play it for Midnight Sun, but then they bring it back for the basement, and then they don't play it for Grish's backstory, but then
It's-
they bring it back for the next episode.
It's kind of fitting in the basement, just because they're still like there. But then once you get to the flashback at the end, it's like this should not be the opening anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. By
They
the
should have
end.
just skipped it every episode to make more time.
Yeah,
It could have been freeze frames.
They had to cut stuff too,
Mhm.
so I don't know why they didn't skip it.
He's so nefarious here. Why did he grow sharp toenails?
He did it to climb, but it's weird that he can do that.
He's just pulling out all sorts of abilities this season.
You can see the holes in the barrel that Bertold is looking through there.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It was like hidden by the smoke. I love the Fat Titan.
Yeah, I really love all those ones. Oh, that's the one that's referenced in Fortnite. Hypothetical where they all starve to death is kind of cool.
Would that have ever happened though?
Yeah, because they'd be trapped here. They didn't prepare more troops to come as a second wave. Zeke wouldn't have had any reason to immediately kill them. He could just wait them out. They couldn't do anything.
I love that shot. It is so fun to make it a two-front war.
And neither side knows what's happening on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't even know about the rock throwing until Flock tells them. Actually, weirdly.
Might have been nice to have like one other character we care about on the horse side. Like maybe Connie's down there and doesn't die or something. If I was any slower at transferring my consciousness. They could have just not put that in and no one would have questioned. There was no reason to include it at all.
Yeah, I know.
I would have been satisfied with him just not, like Levi saying, "Oh, I missed."
I don't see any reason why this would need an explanation, like ever. And I know people would maybe go like, "Isn't it a little weird that Reiner survived that?" But that had to have been a better alternative than there being this permanent thing where people, every time people talk about this battle, it's like the Reiner consciousness transfer is like a big sticking point.
It is, and I mean, he's already like really indestructible. We saw like the hand scene with Annie back in season 1. It could have just been like, "Oh wow, the armored Titan guy's really strong."
Yeah, anything but this.
He's impervious.
And the way he uses it later is less dumb in my opinion, because he uses his Titan body to save his life, which I think is actually a cool idea. But this is
This one's stupid.
How does this even work?
I don't think anyone questions it before, like up to this point. Like,
yeah,
I don't think anyone goes, "How did Reiner survive that?" Because Levi goes, "Dang it, I wasn't quick enough, or I missed,
Yeah.
or some shit like that."
that was all it needed. In the AOT universe, consciousness is confirmed as like a quantifiable thing that can move throughout the nervous system.
So weird. Yeah, the spirit is like separate from the body.
It fully leaves his brain, and then it's able to put itself back.
Did all his neurons just travel? How does that work? Did he like have a seizure? They all fired. Like, what happened? Doesn't make any biological sense.
This is so cool.
I love that.
He specifically requested that in the anime they made them further apart, I think.
Mhm.
He had them correct it because he wasn't satisfied with how it looked in the manga.
The armor had like the 3 face when he was looking at Erwin. This is a great move on Aaron's part. If they even happened, they just would have killed the scouts.
Well, I think that he knows that it would be pointless to kill them if Aaron gets away, and he's the only objective here.
Right, but I still think they would have done it though.
Oh yeah, they would have, but it would have been like nothing for them.
Yeah.
It's impressive that everyone's thinking like 4 steps ahead here and countering each other's plans. It's a lot like Death Note.
It is. It's like real like chess.
Yeah, he could have gone for Erwin here, but Erwin was so ahead of him that he knew he wouldn't waste time to try to kill him. This is my favorite hypothetical in this show.
I do love that. That would have been so cool.
It would have, and would it have activated the royal blood too?
Oh shit, I don't know. What if all the Titans like suddenly ran and like killed Zeke there?
It could have happened.
That's crazy to imagine.
And I wasn't around for this. This was right before I started reading, but one of the manga theories, because people couldn't conceive how the scouts would get out of the situation, and one of the main theories was somehow Eren would activate the coordinate, which is what they called it back then, and it would unleash the wall titans and Shiganshina.
Would have been so cool.
That would have been really cool. Like if they all
idea.
came down at once and started attacking the Beast Titan
Oh god.
or Bertolt.
It's like the pieces were all there. They just assembled it kind of wrong.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron will do that eventually.
Yeah.
It is like a smoking gun from the moment, or Chekhov's gun. I meant to say.
Yeah.
From the moment the Titan is introduced inside that wall, you know it's gonna start walking.
Yeah.
If they touched, Zeke would have been in control because Aaron wasn't smart enough to wrestle it away from Ymir here.
I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if they would have gone into paths. That seems like a very specific kind of thing. I don't know, because he doesn't go into paths when he touches Dinah. The Scout Ymir goes there when she wakes up from her first transformation. You know what I feel like it is? I feel like everyone goes there. You just have to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm. And Zeke probably would be, but Aaron might not be.
Yeah.
So it probably wouldn't go very well if Aaron did.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Well, the vow to renounce war does exist. It's just because of how long Zeke spends in paths in season 4 that he's able to figure out a way to remove it.
Oh, so I mean, Zeke would have had the power, but he wouldn't have been able to do anything with the Wall Titans. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what would have happened. But
He might have been able to control other Titans to attack Aaron, though.
yeah, I guess that probably doesn't break the vow.
Yeah, I don't think that breaks the vow.
But sorry, we have to talk about this fight. This is the worst Titan fight in this show.
There's some cool keyframes in it.
There are, but there's a bunch of problems. Like the slow mo doesn't really work. See, there's no animation there. It's just
Yeah.
like still frames. Reiner's attacking the house shingles for some reason.
I love
That looks cool.
That lunge is so cool. I love how Reiner just moves like a football player.
Reiner breaking that fountain is cool.
I don't have a huge problem with this battle. It's fun.
No, it's not bad. It's just they move really slow.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't feel like they have weight like the other fights do.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's weird emphasis on the shingles flying off for some reason. I always love Levi's dedication to his troops. It's always wholesome.
It is.
There's still so many good shots here. Oh yeah, that confirms no regrets happened. That goes so hard.
Wait, who's on it? I think only Mike and
Nanaba
Nanaba are identifiable.
Yeah, I mean that really says a lot about how war dehumanizes people or something.
So true.
Squad Levi's under there.
Is the manga panel of this like have more faces?
I spotted someone else.
Who?
A little man named Gelgar.
Come on, let's pull up the manga panel of it.
It's always these three for some reason.
Nanaba, Gelgar, and Mike.
These guys could not have been fundamental to his.
Mike was the second strongest soldier.
They changed the character design so that they, in this season only, they fight using these nasty like things around their hands. There's like a mound of flesh wrapped around his arm, and his hand pokes through.
Inside the Titan is so inconsistent.
It is.
And the Titan marks.
Yeah. I think it was the coolest in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's like encased. It's
like the thing in
horrible looking.
Soma.
It is, yeah.
Eren and Reiner do have like 3 fights, right? I like the motif of these two wrestling. I wish they would have had a chance to do a little of it instead of the worm at the end.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna point out here how when Reiner takes a tumble, it makes bell ringing sounds from his
Really?
armor clacking around. Listen.
I've never noticed that.
Oh yeah, he was gonna call Bertolt there. So I guess Bertolt would have flown in on the barrel and just exploded
I feel
on
like that
top
would
of
have
Eren.
killed Eren instantly. What is
Yeah.
he thinking?
I don't think he was thinking.
Is he just like stupid?
He doesn't make great strategic decisions.
Why is only one of his eyes armored there?
Probably forgot to color it, honestly.
No, it's not, because it's different like effects. Oh, it's because Eren punched through the armor on one side.
Oh.
It's a cool detail though.
Oh, that is cool.
It doesn't even make any difference because it pierces through anyway. It's just a cool detail.
Yeah.
If one of those was just aimed a little better, it would have killed him. He's so close to dead here.
Okay, I think we're in agreement that's the weakest one of the season.
Yeah, but it's still a pretty
Oh.
good one. I'd say even B still. Like low B.
I don't know. I don't know if
Come
I
on,
agree with that.
The Thunder Spheres are so cool.
It is cool, but look what else is in B. Like these are really good episodes. Irwin's speech is great. The rest of it's just kind of like an in between.
I think
Yeah.
I like the fight a little more than you do in general.
I mean, I like the fight. I like it a lot in the manga. I think it's really cool how they're having a rematch.
It is the clearly weak fight, yeah. But
It's hard to tell what's going on, and it is like the main part of the episode. I also think the Thunder Spear reveal isn't really that crazy.
I
mean,
think it's just cool.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it's
is
cool
It's
tech.
cool. It's just considering everything else in the season, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, okay, I can see C. I'm not gonna be mad at that. It just feels better than Sudden Visitor to me.
It is. I would say it's a high C. I've always thought this flashback's cool because they use the same song from the scene.
Mm-hmm.
The song is EMA, and they haven't played it since season 1. It's cool that they recreate the scene down to the soundtrack.
This is so funny because if they weren't so like weirdly conspicuous in their wording here, like they could have just been a little more subtle and everything would have been fine.
Yeah. Marco was smart.
It's almost like too smart.
No, I think it is a line. He was always like kind of nerdy guy. That
Fuck.
shot, that's always really cool because the shot of him looking back there.
They show it in season 1.
Yeah. You just don't know what he's looking at. It is really cool how they like fit that together.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's cool how they perfectly recreated the lighting and the atmosphere of that episode.
You're
Who's-
shitting me, you asshole.
Who's the asshole there? Is it Marco or is it Reiner? I've always thought she was mad at Marco for being too smart.
I always took it as her being mad at Reiner for having to kill him here. So she stored his gear there and then just went back for it later when she
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah, I don't think she meant to store it. I think she was just trying to get rid of it, and then she remembered where it was.
The Titan looks like Matt Mercer.
the Titan is Araki, the director of season 1.
Really?
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Zeke does not look good this season.
No, he doesn't. He looks like really, really bad. He's so angular.
Yeah, that's the biggest upgrade of season 4 is Zeke's design. That's weird that he has the authority to kill Reiner, like in a way where he's taking him of the armor and not directly killing him.
He has
Yeah.
like absurd power. I mean, Zeke is like pretty much like almost in control of the military of Marley.
They never animate them hopping over the little like
Yeah, they
things
just
that stick
walk
out.
over it. Yeah, those are really high up. It's funny that they don't
What's
surmount
in
them
there?
at all.
It sucks they had to censor Reiner's head there because it looked gruesome in the manga.
It's so freaky. Oh, thank God he transferred his consciousness.
Looks like it took him a few seconds too. It was like lag time. Oh, that's
Yeah.
such a cool shot.
Yeah, that's
zoom in.
awesome.
The Beast Titan throwing animation is reused from season 2.
Oh God, they're cutting corners to do what they needed to do. I respect it. Oh, I can't wait to see how good the Colossal looks. So he would have just killed them all if Reiner wasn't sticking his ugly
Yeah.
half head out.
I think they could have survived.
The scouts?
Yeah, they seem far enough. Maybe.
It's like it's like an A bomb.
Okay, actually you're right.
That's like a mile radius at least.
You're right. This one makes more sense to me because at least he's using the Titan's body, which is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, it's like he's in the path, but like
Well, I mean, it makes sense. He's connected to it, so
Yeah.
he can use it he can sub his own body for it.
but it still has that weird implication about consciousness as like a
Yeah.
tangible thing.
Yeah.
I guess it makes more sense when it's like supernatural Titan body though. I love that Armin's like weirdly dark sometimes.
Yeah. Well, he didn't think this one through because I mean, using the same thing twice is like uncharacteristically stupid for him.
And yeah, it definitely made Bertolt like unwilling to talk a little more.
Yeah, it instantly set him off.
It makes sense Armin would blunder a little bit.
I always thought it was cool how they're like in fencing stances here.
Yeah. He did not accept whatever happened. I guess he does sort of have some character in this season.
Yeah.
It's like all about him like keeping his cool, and then he completely does not at the end.
Yeah.
God, this is so cool.
It is.
I hope he looks good.
He looks good there.
That shot's fine.
Yeah, I think that looks cool. I mean, the scale's off, but
He's
looks smooth. Yeah.
huge. He's so big there. It's like SpongeBob. And that's not horrible.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's only when you see the environment with him.
Yeah.
Of course, that's cool too. That's
The 2D, he looks awesome when he's 2D here.
Yeah. I don't mind that either.
It's like he also doesn't have the blue tint as much.
Yeah, they didn't blend him well enough.
Oh, that's the bad.
Okay, that's really bad.
That's really bad.
The way he scratches his ear there is like Zeke's signature thing. And one of the ways that we knew in season 4 that Aaron was working with him is because Aaron does the same thing.
No, yeah, he goes, did I say that? Just forget it.
Yeah,
And he does
yeah.
it. I wanted to say goes in B.
Should I start our ranking section with you doing the whiny voice?
Yeah, please don't. It's
Um,
better than Thunderspace for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I don't like it as much as episode 50. But I really like the whole Bertolt scene is really awesome. This is like the Bertolt episode.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
It makes Bertolt into a much more interesting character.
I like him a lot more I guess I'm more interested in him this watch than I have been in the past.
He clearly doesn't want to be doing this, but he's still acting like a villain. And I guess he feels forced into it. His motivation's not as clear as the other ones.
He doesn't seem to struggle with it that badly. He seems to like mildly not want to.
Yeah.
Like in season, but he gets over it.
Yeah, he dehumanizes them very quickly.
And yeah, you can tell he's under some mental duress because of it. But in general, I've always felt like Bertolt struggled the least with it of the warriors we saw. Well, obviously Marcel never had time to.
I wanted to point out how, I mean, Mobile just died. Wouldn't even comment on that.
Oh god, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good one.
Great. I mean, everything else ahead of it is better.
I'd say A tier.
A?
Oh, no, sorry, no, B.
I'm gonna say I don't
Yeah,
think it's
no.
an A, but
No.
I would say yeah, very very solid B.
Yeah.
It's eavesdropping.
That's one time where the dub is better.
What'd he say?
How does it feel to have your own roof over your head again?
Aaron did not even mildly. He didn't acknowledge Connie saying it because he was so full of rage. He was like fucking blocking out all stimulus that wasn't him angry at Bertolt. I mean, that's righteous anger on his part.
Yeah.
I can't blame him. It is disrespectful for Bertolt to show up and start flinging it around again.
Oh, I just found an error.
What?
Look what John's standing on. Look at his left foot. He's
No.
standing on air.
That's funny. Can we just skip the opening?
No.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, we don't do that here. Wait, yeah, we've had this exact conversation before.
I think we have.
Dirk's offer to move to the front line instead of Levi saved his life there.
Imagine if Dirk had to convince Erwin at the end to kill himself. The red blood mist is kind of silly, but it's crazy.
I think it's cool. Peak pushing the rock is so funny.
She's rolling it like a dung beetle.
What did he tell her? He said, go find the most spherical rocks you can.
It's weird that there's so many.
Yeah.
Where did he find these?
Oh, Dirk's leg is bent the wrong way.
Oh,
It's horrible.
God.
Yeah, maybe the red is a little strong.
That would not happen. But it's a cool visual flair.
Does that happen in real life? Like in battlefields? Does the air get...
Bloody like that? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
That looks awful.
It looks like that TikTok, they had like the colossal dancing in the city and it looked exactly the same as that. No.
Dude, they all died at once. That's so funny. Wait, someone didn't get mentioned. One of the four didn't.
Harold. He looks so good there. It reminds me of season 1 when he looked to see him in 2D.
Yeah.
It's like really nostalgic because the Colossal was so iconic back then too. He's so badly scaled to the Colossal
Yeah,
here. It's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
He should go up to like his knee, if not like
Yeah.
his upper femur, right?
Yeah. And I think it's it's very in character for Aaron to try something this stupid too.
It's like when SpongeBob's cousin goes up and punches him in the toe. That kick would be Bertolt's undoing. That kick was Bertolt's big folly in a way, though.
Oh yeah, because that does make him lose. Yeah, he should have just let Aaron stay down there. It's not like he could have done anything.
Yeah.
Maybe he
It's-
could have climbed him.
It also gave Erwin probably the confidence to give up his death here and entrust it to them too.
They do a good job of keeping like the destruction in the background always there, and it's always like mossy and overgrown. This zoom in and color change is identical to the way they animated in season 2, and I think season 1 also.
That's cool.
Whenever he starts blowing his steam, things look so dire here. It's actually crazy how they turn this around.
It's a very Pyrrhic victory.
Oh god, yeah, and Reiner coming back too.
This is like the most dire it gets.
I just want to point out here. Listen really closely. You hear that?
The screaming?
That wasn't screaming. It was like high pitched. Right?
Oh yeah, I heard the
What
whirring.
was
yeah.
that? Was that an audio error? I've always thought it was.
It seemed on like it might have been like it was like a sonic boom or something.
Marlo and Flock are fun together. I
Yeah.
still think Marlo could have stayed alive.
I wish.
Yeah, he brought such a fun dynamic to the group too.
Like Aaron, but not horrible.
Yeah, it would have been kind of cool to see his reaction to
The rumbling.
yeah.
He'd have made a good anti-Jaegerist for sure. Who is this? Who was that mustachioed man who gave this rousing speech a week ago?
Garrison.
No, he was a scout.
Oh, was he?
The guy giving the speech was a scout.
What?
This is Flock getting converted to the
Wait, yeah,
scouts. It
who-
wasn't Erwin?
Wait a minute.
So Flock is in the garrison. That guy's a scout. This is Flock being convinced to join the scouts.
Wait.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, why is it not Erwin?
Do you think this guy like? Yeah, why wouldn't it be Erwin?
Erwin didn't have time to go recruit people, I guess. I think Flock is very interesting. I really like how he was unfairly baited into joining this under the
Pretense.
not pretense. They stirred his patriotism. It is interesting. He's the one who survives, and he's the coward.
Well, he only survived because he's cowering out of danger's way.
He does go on the charge, though.
He
But
does go on the
He
charge.
does like
but
duck and hide.
He's like peer pressured. Yeah, he clings to his horse. But I mean, maybe they all should have clung to their horse if it
Yeah.
made him live. I mean, props to him.
It's cool how they're prepared to write the whole operation off as a loss.
Mm-hmm.
So where would they even go from here if they just came back with like, they still have Aaron. There's still a way for them to survive, but it would not be looking good.
Yeah.
Erwin thought of this plan earlier, but he was like sitting on it because he didn't want to do it.
Maybe he should have. Dirk would still be with us. I still don't really think. I guess Erwin's consequentially not selfish.
He is selfish, but I don't think he's a bad guy. Because he does have a selfish dream, but I mean, he puts it aside multiple times.
Yeah, I really don't buy the angle that he's like a bad person.
Oh wow, this is the only time they appear.
Who is?
Isabel
Oh
and
yeah,
Ferlin.
that is Ferlin.
Isabel and Ferlin are not in Levi's final salute scene at the end of season 4.
Oh, that would have been a nice thing to
Yeah,
add.
that's what I was thinking. Why are they're here but they're not there?
I think it's this one Dieter's in.
Dieter's in one of them. That's Dieter, right?
Oh, I think that is.
Let's see what the wiki says real quick. Wow, even the wiki doesn't try to say. no one knows which one's Dieter, I guess.
Wait, I think it's.
Is the wiki just wrong?
I think it might be him behind Petra.
Yeah, if he's in this, that's gotta be him. This confirms that Mobilet is dead, even though nobody could know that.
It's his
Levi
Force
Irwin.
ghost. What's the girl? That's Ilse. That's
Oh, that is Ilse.
Yeah. Is that Abel?
It's KG, it's Abel, and it's
Luke Sis. What if Erwin and Levi were like, oh, that's Dieter Ness and that's Petra? Erwin's face always softens there, like he was surprised by that.
I think he's very relieved.
Yeah.
I mean, later they go back to the scene. You see, he said thank you after.
He's relieved in that he's no longer tied, like bound to his dream.
Yeah, because Levi like takes
He does
he takes it away
on.
from him, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he needed it to be taken away.
Yeah.
The smoke signals is like a cover is really cool too. 'Cause
It's such a great way to bring that full circle.
yeah, it barely helps at all, but it gives them like a 1% advantage. But they do it because like there's nothing else they can do.
It does help though in the end. He doesn't notice it. It makes him angry. It actually just makes him mad. He's like, why are you still doing that? This is such a great setup. It's such a flaw in Zeke's plan.
Yeah. Also, Levi watching as all his troops get killed is just horrible.
Yeah.
It's one of the best scenes ever. His speech is so good too.
I love Daisuke Ono.
I love the rage in his voice too.
He's like the best voice actor of all time. That's one of the best scenes in the whole show.
Yeah, that's amazing. In the manga, it's a little less clear how he feels about it. He's almost like smiling when he gets hit. I think S.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's one of the best episodes. I wouldn't say it's S plus, but it's almost there.
Was gonna argue against S plus if you tried it, but
No.
yeah, I would agree. Yes.
The whole battle's crazy. It feels so desolate. Erwin's speech is just one of the best moments in anything, probably.
I mean, Erwin's my favorite in the. Him and Ymir are my two favorites in the whole series. Just such a good episode, and it's like the start of like an amazing stretch.
When you actually go back and read what he's saying in this speech, it actually is really interesting because he's fully just saying
Well, it's basically we're part of something bigger than ourselves.
yeah,
But it's like he's realizing that in that moment too.
Yeah.
He's like finally internalized it in that moment, even though he's been saying it pretty much his whole like life here.
Isn't it sad that this is the same horse Erwin has had the whole series, and he just dies like that, and he never.
Oh,
gets a
the
name
horse
either.
gets his head blown off too.
Yeah,
And Marlowe assumes command after Erwin goes. That's so
That's
cool.
ignoring how bad he looks in the Titan there because of season 3's weird stylistic choice. It is interesting. This is the first look at Zeke's ideology.
Yeah.
Because this is perfectly in line with later, where he views it as euthanizing them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an act of mercy for him. He's frustrated that they're...
That they're rebelling against their death.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. Oh.
No.
This is so brutal. Later, Flock says Marlowe regretted being there, which is like an interesting... I don't know if Flock is projecting there, but it does seem like he was regretting it.
He was realizing, what he had.
His mouth is so big.
Big Mouth takes control. He was
Dude.
commander of the scouts for a couple seconds. The screaming and the beacons, like the smoke signals, are really enraging him.
Yeah. Yeah, he does get progressively more agitated as this goes on.
So the smoke things were accidentally a good plan. God, this is such a good scene.
This is crazy, especially when you realize it's like, oh shit. Almost everyone I've watched has cheered during this scene.
Uh-huh. Let's fucking go. Dude, it's so good.
It's so cathartic. He's been terrorizing them since season 2 now.
Mm-hmm. His mouth looks so goofy. I always thought his mouth looks like it looked like Fetty. The Fetty plush.
Flock surrounded by all the corpses is so cool. And with Levi in the background swinging around like that and then it pans down to him.
Hanji, who he thinks is dead here.
Oh yeah. Remember Aaron's experiments that we didn't show?
Yeah, that does make that feel like a
Yeah.
loss. Because this is the fulfillment of that.
Yeah, well, that's a criticism of the other season, part of the season, not this episode.
Yeah, of course. I love in RTS how every little decision has such drastic outcomes.
Yeah. I love Armin in this episode. I think this is Armin's best for sure.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
It's cool here how Armin grapples onto him. It's like
I
a
love
callback
that.
to the end of the Trust arc where he wakes him up. This is the last time they fight together too. I mean, they really feel like there's like a brotherhood here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he stabbed it.
It is exactly like Trust.
It is interesting that all of these guys would later side with Reiner. It'd be kind of fun if you like brought this up during the campfire. I was like, what the fuck was that about, guys? Where they all swarmed him and threw explosive spears into his mouth multiple times. I love callbacks in this, and it feels like they love to call back the beginning more than they love to call back to stuff like this.
Yeah. That's always been cool how his hand sweeps through the rooms.
And Shikanshina gets so fucked.
Yeah, there's so many. Look at all those shingles. He doesn't know what's going on. He lost his memory too, so he's just like,
just
oh, I
fighting.
should probably do this.
His Titan body consciousness knew this.
So the memory is not stored in the conscious. What were they thinking with that, dude? What were they thinking?
I love it.
Oh, but the fact that he doesn't retain his memories is weird, right? I mean, his head got blown off, but his consciousness transferred. Memories are not stored in the brain because his brain just got destroyed. But some memories are, I guess.
It's so weird. It's weird implications that he didn't think
Yeah.
about. Oh, he looks great there.
Yeah, he does.
Armin's just lying to him here. The careful viewer would notice that he just contradicted what he said a minute ago, too.
Was
It's-
falling part of the plan here? It wasn't because he said shit.
I mean, it worked, clearly.
Yeah, it worked, but that
I don't know.
weird, right?
I feel like deceiving Bertolt here is probably part of the plan, too, a little bit.
It is 100%, but it seemed like that fall was real.
Well, what would he have done instead?
I guess pretend to fall.
Realizing the teeth aren't disintegrating is such a great moment.
Yeah.
He's so smart.
Reiner doesn't know why he's fighting or who he's fighting.
He
but
doesn't
he's
know what these things
committed.
are. He doesn't know what the thunder spheres are yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what screws him over here because he doesn't know that he has to avoid that. That was a really good animation. Look at the way his arm cuts through the building.
Oh, yeah. Did she just get hit by debris?
Yeah. You know what? They cut out something there. In the manga, she gets hit. She still tries to
Oh.
fire the spear after she gets hurt like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like she follows through, but she misses because she got injured. And
They kept that very
no,
much.
they changed it to her getting injured and not firing at all. She gives up when she gets hit.
It's unbelievable that Armin survives this.
Yeah, literally, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess people can survive.
People
first-
survive crazy things.
I think people, like, 4th degree burns don't kill you, like, instantaneously.
That would be so painful.
Yeah.
And I like how the flames obscure his vision so he can't see it's a hardened copy.
Yeah, or that he's not even in the position he fell in.
Oh, was he not?
No,
he
yeah,
wasn't.
he's sitting up, yeah.
I didn't notice that. It's so satisfying seeing this asshole get taken down.
Yeah, Armin, you mean?
Yeah, Armin.
This is so different from watching with someone who hasn't seen it before. Cause
Yeah.
it's always like a devastating feeling.
Yeah.
But now I'm like watching as like a third person viewer. Ah, let's go.
Seeing him get defeated is so satisfying too.
Yeah, it is.
He looks horrible when he's flying out.
With his hair.
He's undercooked. That's a good shot. They blended it well there.
His realization.
And
Oh, yeah.
the fact it seals the wall, which is their main goal at the same time, is so
Mhm.
satisfying.
Armin's such a genius.
It's like this is their goal since season 1 and it's done.
Mhm. To have
It's
it
the
at-
volume 1 cover too.
and to have it at the exact same time as defeating the Colossal. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's such a good fulfillment.
This is one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen.
It is.
He looks horrible, like in a good way. He looks very scary when he's falling. It's like
Yeah, it looks demonic. It's like something out of Doom. Oh my god. Just so perfect.
it is.
I can't even add goof.
I
Goofy
love
commentary.
the Colossal Titan's burnt corpse
Yeah, I was
bent
gonna
over
say.
like that.
He never really he's just a skeleton every other time you see him
Yeah.
disintegrate like that. Or he disappears entirely.
I
As
think about a
plus.
D. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right.
Cop.
Yeah. It's
Perfect.
one of the best episodes ever made of anything, probably.
God, it's so good. It's so nice to have another S plus.
Yeah, it's been a long time. There's a few minor complaints, like the fact it goes from the Colossal Titan like using his furnace, and then it cuts to the fight with the Armored Titan, and everything's still perfect in blue, is a little funny. Because
I don't mind it.
it doesn't matter. I'm just saying. I'm looking for stuff to critique.
There's
here.
literally nothing to go after here.
Uh,
Marlowe dies. Flock survives. Erwin begins to die.
that has Levi's
Levi versus
Levi
Beast
versus
Titan.
Beast Titan, and it has everything else. The whole Armin sequence is just crazy. I mean, it's Armin's best moment by far.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so funny. Beforehand, we agreed that we were going to do a bit where we pretended to rank it lowly but I got so caught up in it that when he started the bit, I was like, wait, no. I was like pulled out of it completely because I love it. Because that was like my favorite episode for a long time. I don't know if I'd still call it my favorite, but it's certainly top
It's one
10,
of the best.
probably top 5.
Do you have anything else to say about this?
No, not really.
Yeah, I don't either. I think S plus. This episode is crazy. This is like
It's
they're
so
on
good.
top of everything here.
Mm-hmm. Like wits on top of everything.
Yeah, I mean, direction, cinematography, animation, it's all like top of their game.
Yeah, it is peak. Everything went right here.
I don't like how his face has grooves like that. They make
It's
him really
crazy.
detailed in this.
Everything in this episode is so detailed.
It must have been so tempting for them to like really dramatize this, but the fact they went with no music at all is so
It's so
interesting.
Good. It's so good. I bet Aaron has no reserves about cutting Bertolt's throat here.
It always looked to me in the manga like he was smiling when he said that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a correct interpretation.
He looks so stupid here when he's bald like that. That one Jean quote gave us, well, what did Reiner do? Not much after this.
What are you talking about?
In, like, actual accomplishments
Oh.
himself, he was mostly, like, stalled things as this Titan.
They wouldn't have won against the Jaegers without him, and I think he also
yeah.
stops the worm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, like, mostly him stalling things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Look at the guy in the red shirt sitting with them.
He wanted to sit by Mikasa. Do you think he thought he had, like, a chance with her?
The lighting in this one is immediately very different from the last one too. I guess
Yeah,
it's-
this episode is so dramatically, like, lit and everything.
the other ones are like bluish, right? This one's yellow.
But it is also, like, dramatic. Like, there's some... Well, also the no music in the entire thing helps. The dub for the scene is so good.
Yeah! Hell yeah! I'm still breathing! I hear him!
Yeah, hell yeah!
That has to be the worst dub in the entire show.
I wish I could watch Bryce Papenbrook fucking record that.
It's not his fault. They gave him horrible lines to read. It's not
Yeah.
even close to what he was saying.
I love how, like, Levi's doing this as slowly as possible in the chance that Erwin's alive. That's how it almost feels, even though it's obviously not the case.
No, I think it is. I think that is what he's doing.
He is genuinely holding out, hoping that Erwin's alive.
Yeah. This is so frustrating.
It is.
I mean, his choice to keep Reiner alive was clearly one of his best decisions. Just,
On accident. What do you...
no, it's Isayama. 'Cause
Oh,
Reiner's
Isayama's
one
dumb.
of the best characters.
Duh. I think with John's.
No.
Such a hell situation. This is just so nightmarish.
You think some of the other guys were still alive? Or it was just him.
Yeah, maybe Marlowe's still alive with that. They bring back Marlowe and he's just permanently, like, mentally disabled. Would he grow back that brain part and be completely mentally cognizant again?
If he was alive, yeah.
Imagine they compromise and you saw neither of them.
I mean, I feel like that could have happened if they spent too long here.
Yeah. If neither of these people lived, would they have just, like, given it to, like, Connie or Sasha or John?
I don't know what they would have done.
I'm guessing they would have done that with Bertolt.
Them going against Levi is an interesting character moment. From this point, Aaron and Levi are like constantly enemies. I mean, not because of this, but they never work together again. Should we get into what the right choice is?
I feel like you have a video on this.
I mean, I've talked about why bringing Erwin back is bad for him, but I haven't talked about logistically, like, or strategically, what Erwin would do.
There's almost a very strong strategic case for Erwin here.
For sure. I mean, Erwin definitely was the better logical choice, but people always say, and I mean, the reason why I made the Aaron video, or why I got back into AOT defending Discourse was because I saw a post saying, it showed Erwin in the Colossal Titan form stomping Marley with Aaron, like in the rumbling, and while he's shouting Sasageo, and it made me so annoyed because it was so stupid. So people say, would Erwin support the rumbling? First of all, no, he wouldn't. Yeah, no.
Never in a million years.
0% chance. And we don't even have to debate on that. You know why? Because he shows us Erwin is a ghost opposing the rumbling.
He literally does show up as a Force ghost opposing it. It's not a debate.
But the second thing is, Erwin would not have let things get to that situation. He would have been more proactive in the events following the basement. He wouldn't have let the Jaegers become a thing at all, like, period. And I think...
yeah, the military just wouldn't have, like, splintered in the way it did with his presence.
Yeah.
It's, like, objectively.
Yeah, he would have had a handle on it. And when Aaron started doing anything, he would have noticed that Aaron was defecting early on I think he would have keyed into that better. And I think he would have proactively taken the Titan from Eren. So yeah, I don't think the rumbling would have never happened to begin with.
But
So
also,
that's
it's hard to
my
know how
thoughts.
Eren would act without Armin in general. Like, he'd probably be even more doomer and like freakish about the outside world if
Yeah.
he saw it that way without Armin being next to him.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, it's hard to say how things would play out exactly. But in general, yeah, I don't think Erwin would have kept the government together more. But also, it's not Armin's fault that the government fell apart, because Armin wasn't even the leader, first of all.
No, it's honestly Hanji's fault that the military kind of splintered.
I don't even think it's Hanji's fault.
When it's military people who are defecting, it is kind of your responsibility to corral them and
Yeah, I mean, Hanji's whole thing is she's like, she can't live up to Erwin, for sure. I don't think you're saying this, but people do blame Armin and Hanji for everything falling apart when it's really not all on them. And it would take like literally like 5,000 IQ brain to be able to outplay Eren, because he held all the cards at that point. I think the right stance is Erwin could have stopped it, but also blaming Hanji and Armin is not entirely fair, even though Hanji takes some blame.
Mm-hmm.
The other important thing people forget is the reason why things fall apart is because Eren is
He pushes them too.
he pushes them too, but also they're literally completely dependent on him, because he is essentially holding all the cards for them. So he's able to whip them around. It's like an unfair position where, I mean, ultimately it is on Eren, right?
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, he's the one who does everything.
Yeah.
It's also hard to know exactly how Erwin would act. He might not be as invested
Yeah,
in
no.
keeping the scouts together.
For
So
sure.
the Jaegers might still, I don't know. It's too hard to say, because his dream like did end here. That's the whole thematic.
I don't
point
think he
here.
would have given up on his, like, he wouldn't have just shut down mentally.
No, I'm not saying he would have, but if his heart's less in it, it's not his dream, and I think he
Yeah.
even says as much here.
Yeah, his heart definitely wouldn't have been in it. I think he would have done what he could, but I think he definitely would not have been as perceptive and like just willing to go all out for it.
It's so weird. Bertolt and Flock were alive next to each other for a few minutes.
Oh, they were in the same class. They probably had dinner together at the Scouts or the.
Flock probably made jokes about his Bertolt's sleeping position.
It's so stupid. Oh, first Flock name drop.
Really?
Hmm.
That's so weird.
Anytime Mikasa does something in the anime that's like an interesting character moment, I'm glad, because there's so few.
Yeah.
Oh, she kills him later.
She does kill him later. That's so weird to think about.
Oh, the pose here is the same pose he's in episode 5 when he gets fake killed.
Oh,
He's
with
hanging off the
his
building.
little leg.
Yeah, I don't like how his gums are shown.
It looks so stupid that exactly half. Oh, because Levi punched him. That's where he lost his teeth, right?
Yeah.
I always thought it looked really stupid that he had exactly half of his teeth missing. There's a point that Armin is literally one of their best minds here.
Yeah. They do get punished for this coup here, but
They get put in jail
it's such a minor punishment, because at that point, like, who cares?
because they're all depressed.
I think the other thing to consider is Erwin was already like struggling with the guilt at this point.
It would have just gotten worse as the global front starts.
Well, I was gonna say, if he survived this, I don't know how he would have coped with killing literally every single scout in an intentional suicide run that he then survived. You know?
Yeah, and Flock is even partly thinking that he should have to carry that guilt.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like almost vindictive on Flock's part, despite his like, he's both vindictive towards Erwin and like worships him here.
Oh yeah, it's fully vindictive. He wants him to suffer.
It's so weird because then he like idolizes him later.
He idolizes him not as a hero, but like as evil. He thinks Erwin's like ruthlessness is necessary to win.
It's so weird. It's like hard to understand as a character almost because it's so like inhuman.
Yeah, he says it here. He thinks he's the devil. Good thing they were right above the well. I mean, Moblet's death is sad though.
It's like the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull fridge.
Oh, but you didn't know who he was.
Yeah, no, when I first watched it, I didn't even know who Momo was.
He's in so many scenes.
Yeah, and his only line ever is Section Commander.
He's like a hidden character. He's like the creepypasta. You don't notice him until you like pay attention to the corners of the screen or something.
Yeah, he is. Connie, Sasha, and John are kind of sitting this one out.
Well, they're only tier 2 friends with Armin, and they don't have much stake in Erwin. So he believes in the sea when it's convenient to him.
He always believed in the sea.
No, he was a sea denier.
That was just a grift.
He punched out exactly half his teeth.
It's so distracting.
It's weird if Flock takes him away.
They're such good friends.
This is such a good sequence. This is one of the best in the entire show. The paralleling of memories. Oh my
It's a
god.
good thing he
and then-
didn't break the syringe.
I love how he's still mentally there in the classroom, kind of.
Yeah.
Or it's like all he's thinking about.
That little flash of armor in there is so good.
Yeah, this is perfect. The perfect adaptation. Perfect in the manga too.
Goodbye, Bertolt.
I'm glad he woke up so he could experience his death.
It's the one time his facade slipped. Well, it's more like he slipped into his facade.
Yeah. If he wasn't such an asshole, it'd be sad.
He looks so angelic when he rides out of his Titan, Armin does.
Yeah. I mean, this is a crazy moment. It's Armin becoming the colossal titan who's like the main icon of the series.
Yeah.
This is their second Titan shifter too, which is also a huge deal.
He looks so angelic.
He does. He's so buff.
He's very buff.
Yeah, I think
that's one of the best in the series, pretty undoubtedly.
yeah, I don't like it as much as the other S Plus episodes, but I think that's just like a personal thing.
I think it's a strong contender for best in the entire series.
It's up there, yeah. It's so foundational to the. I mean, this I have so much to say about.
It's very tense your first time. It's an edge of your seat type episode.
It is, and I mean, everything's perfect. Animation's perfect. I mean, I already said that, but they just nailed everything. But even more so than that, in terms of the overall series, this was the first time people who were fans were really mad at the series. In the manga, this Serum Bowl, which is what this was called, was 2 chapters. This was the first time people were really divided because Erwin versus Armin, it's like an ideological debate more than anything of pragmatic leadership versus
Like idealist.
idealists, optimists, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the split that started here, I think it permanently ruptured or like split AOT discourse, which is interesting because this is even before it really got political with everything in Marley. But I mean, if you look at how people reacted to this episode, this chapter in the manga, it was really the first time we see the kind of Jaegerist versus Alliance kind of that kind of debate. I mean, even people years later would say the moment that Isayama picked Armin was the moment the series went downhill, or it set it down the path of.
I mean, it sort of is the moment that's sort of like a moment of its thesis that it'll choose idealism over like a rugged pragmatism.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this is the first time, and this set up the debate that would continue until the end of the series. I mean, a lot of people hated the ending for a lot of reasons, but one of them was the idealism of it, right? Isayama rejects the us versus them, or like we need to just kill all of them and save ourselves kind of thing.
Very bold stance for him to take. That we shouldn't kill everyone.
You know what I mean, right?
No, I agree with you. It shouldn't be a bold take.
But I mean, I'm saying this episode was the beginning of the ideological divide in the fandom.
No, yeah, I agree. Every time I watch with someone, they go, they get really. People are always really invested in this episode, and I mean, it's not hard to see why. It's very investing. It's very engrossing, and everyone I've watched with has picked a side like during and been like really. It's anxiety inducing. Every time they choose Armin and they just go, he's the right choice. I mean, they have to choose Armin. It's always purely emotional when people do it. Like Erwin is a very popular, beloved character, but Armin is just always the more emotional choice. And I mean, I'm not saying he's the wrong choice, but people very emotionally attached to Armin as a choice. In the moment, Armin is a very like, no, you can't kill the little guy.
Anyways, yeah, definitely one of the best episodes in the series.
Yeah. S+ episode. Dude, when you start this episode and the OP starts, it's immediately so stupid. You just saw Armin come back and Erwin die, and then it's like, oh, the battle's about to happen.
What were they thinking? And they do it again in
They could have
not the
saved
next
time,
one.
just not doing a Midnight Sun style the rest of the season.
Yeah, the next one they don't have it, but then in the one after they do, and it's even
The one after
less
that
fitting
needs
there.
it, yeah.
Oh yeah, they
crunch
cut
from-
stuff and they
yeah.
put this in. Seeing the episode title "The Basement" is still crazy.
It is awesome.
What do you think about this? It's creepy. I like how one half is black and white.
It's a little weird.
I mean, in retrospect, it's a path thing, right? Because he is like in purgatory.
Oh yeah, it is weird. His teeth look so creepy. It feels like it's like Armin's taking on Bertolt's weird baggage. He kind of is in a way.
Look at this scene. The thick outlines come back for a second.
Yeah, like the production's fucked at this point.
It so is. They forgot what season it was. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. It's an identical season 1 shot.
Yeah, it is.
Which is weird. It shows they can do it.
Of course, it is a conscious choice to move away from the thick outlines.
Like, did they get the wrong production notes? How does that happen? Genuinely.
I'm guessing they outsourced it to like a Korean company that was using season 1 reference art or something. Like Levi's off model and some shots here. Aaron's off model there.
God, yeah.
Aaron looks like he's having a stroke. It's a fucking 1,000-yard stare.
I mean, Armin has to feel disgusted that he cannibalized someone, right? They don't really get into that, though.
I mean, he threw up when he killed someone with a gun.
Not because he ate him, though.
No, I'm not saying he ate the interior MP, but I'm saying he's probably equally distraught about this. And look at his face. Did he have physically... He probably didn't have any food to throw up because his entire body was just reformed.
Yeah.
That's weird to think about. He's just in a house. Do you think when they were taking back Shiganshina at the end of it, they were like, oh, fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? His mummified corpse is just sitting there.
This place would be full of dead bodies.
Yeah.
And there's no wagon carts to take him back this time. They'd actually have to leave him here.
When did they resettle Shiganshina? There's probably a mass grave nearby.
They go to leave, and then Dieter crawls out from the scout corpse pile, and he's like, wait, we
We
to
forgot
take the
something. I was going to make a Dieter joke, but I couldn't think of anything. I hope she says something funny about food.
Well, she didn't, so you ate your words.
Yeah, I fucking did. It's like the one time they have her do a comic relief thing where she doesn't go, I'm hungry.
Remember that stupid fucking thing where people said she said Nikulo instead of Niku? Including me. It was stupid.
You told me that.
It was so dumb.
It is like very Tumblr headcanon looking back on it. I feel so bad. Armin's like survivor's guilt here.
Giving Armin just the jacket is so funny. It looks like a magic mic.
It does. I've always thought this.
I like her short hair there. They really build this reveal up here. And I was watching with my friends. They were like, come on. Because they make you wait the whole episode.
It's really frustrating, but it's really... I never get mad at it versus some of the other ones that are stretching it out. Is this only one chapter?
Yeah.
I think they did the right thing making it one episode.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All these shots of the stuff around the city that's just ruined is all anime original. This sequence coming up here with Eren and Mikasa is completely original.
This episode's really emotional.
I love the ghost town aspect. How it's like, it is sad. It feels like
it has to be
life
traumatic.
lost.
Does it bother you editing when I like completely cut you off in the middle of sentences?
No, the worst.
Hugo! Oh, Hugo!
No way.
We started this series talking about Hugo. That was literally how our commentary began.
It was. I am in disbelief Hugo gets an unnamed third Garrison member too. I wonder, is he the same one from the Hunters flashback? Remember there was a third one they had to invent.
Man, this is such a full circle bit here.
This whole scene feels very haunting with the low droning music. It's the same music they use for the minor story in season 1.
I was going to say, what if it's completely inaccessible from the rock? Then I remembered we literally have a giant rock mover in our midst.
Yeah.
What if it was crushed from the rock?
That would be unfortunate.
But I mean, they would have the power to figure it out soon enough.
I mean, as a whole, the basement didn't even matter that much.
It just gave them a head start.
Head start on the information, you mean?
Yeah.
Her, like, taking care with the plates is a nice touch.
Yeah. I feel like people's headcanon Eren wouldn't even accept that his dad didn't let him in the basement.
What do you mean?
Like, people have this weird headcanon version of Eren where he's like, I love free. But in, like, an epic badass Sigma way. And he would not accept his beta cuck dad doesn't let him in the basement. Because it's a misunderstanding of what it means for him to be free.
I like how they take the time to fix it or to clean the debris with their own hands instead of just making Eren do it. It's like being more tender with it.
Mm-hmm. This part with the key, where the key doesn't fit the hole, is so stressful for the 1 second.
Yeah.
Every time people watch, it's like, oh, come on. And then they're like, oh, wait, it's a wooden door. It doesn't need a keyhole.
It's such a good bit, too.
It is.
I've always loved these kind of old dank, laboratories, you know?
Yeah. So did she only check drawers on one side of the desk?
So this wasn't in the manga. What happens in the manga is she just finds it, but they added the scene with the cup falling to try to make it more natural. And this scene where she thinks of Grisha is also new, which is really nice.
That is nice. That must have been his last night because he has that cup there.
Yeah. I really like interactions between these two. Obviously, I was upset when they cut their one in season 3, part 1, so it's nice they added a new one back to kind of make up for it.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many degrees of Isayama just hiding it. It is like a troll chapter. Among Us.
It is Among Us. The first time watching this, you're sweating.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just a book.
Yeah, I really like that too. How it's like they both do it together.
I love that the flash forward is right after.
Yeah. The way the question comes back too.
Mm-hmm.
The way it flashes away from it is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling you the reveal with this essentially, just very indirectly.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of nice that he gets to break the news to us even after he's dead. The sky looks so cool there.
Yeah. And the cut to the celebration before we even find out what they learned. Look, there's Rico.
Yeah, there she is. Who's next to her? Is that... There's no fucking way.
What?
Look who's next to her. Is that Lobov? Look at his hair.
Oh, it might be.
I think that is Lobov.
I love also how it only shows their backs with the confetti, and it's like they look so ominous because they got the worst possible news.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it'd be cool if they used a real photo for this. Obviously, that wouldn't work for
Yeah.
a lot of reasons, but
Still.
this is fully like my favorite plot twist ever.
It's so good. This reveal's so good. It disorients you so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is the genre shift
Yeah.
of the show.
And that's very rare to pull off.
I think this part is fully just like a masterpiece with how he sets up the reveal, and it's like because the basement reveal is no one predicts this, but at the same time everything makes 100% sense with it,
You can predict it to an extent.
but not completely.
Yeah.
It's so hard to articulate this. It's just this really does change the genre, and I've never seen anything like this that does it so well and so perfectly. The fact that the basement reveal, it lives up to the hype also, which is another crazy thing. Hardly ever stuff like that live up to expectations. Because I thought that the reveal was Grisha was from like a futuristic society that had
It had ulcers arrived, like a second society.
yeah, like a second society, but no one expects that the entire world is outside.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fine,
like a Shyamalan twist.
but like it.
It's like it's like what he wishes he
Yeah.
could write.
Yeah, it changes AOT from post-apocalyptic to just like war
Mm-hmm.
or like military.
Yeah, military espionage war story.
Yeah.
It's very easy to miss this scene.
Yeah, especially if you're watching on Adult Swim, which completely cut it. This is, I think, another one of the best scenes in the show.
Immediately they show World War II imagery to you, and it's so like holy shit.
Yeah, it gets so real so fast.
The Iron Man thing, it's immediately like oh my god.
Yeah. This scene is magical with the new soundtrack playing.
The blimp.
The fucking blimp.
The blimp.
too.
It looks like almost like aluminum, and you almost think it's like more future than it is.
It does, yeah. It's
When I first watched it, I was like, "Whoa, are we way in the future?"
yeah. I don't know how people feel who are like aren't that invested in this and they just like watch it casually.
Mm-hmm.
But reading this for the first time and seeing the blimp was like the most mind-blowing thing I've ever read in anything ever.
Yeah.
The blimp is like antithetical to every single thing that we've learned over the entire series.
It's like the icon of the series is this weird like 1800s steampunk thing.
Yeah.
And then it's completely like 100 years later, it's super developed military tech. It's
And
just crazy.
They made it even more futuristic looking in the anime, because in the manga it's like a less advanced blimp. In the manga, he starts talking about how the blimp is powered by hydrogen, which obviously in parody they don't know what elements are really.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you mean Burstone?" They make her so innocent and sweet.
Yeah, I mean this is the inciting incident for the whole story is him.
And the music switch really
Yeah.
feels like this is how it begins. And at first, when you say they're not leaving the walls, you think maybe the Titans are there outside.
Yeah. The intentional parallel between the
walls.
internment zone walls and the
Yeah.
3 walls. I think that's a very good episode, actually.
I love it.
I'm surprised because I remembered it being more boring than
More
it was.
draggy. No, it's like super emotional. I remembered it being not like emotional, but like almost more like patty. And it's
Yeah.
not padding. It's super engrossing.
Yeah, I mean the weakest part is the Armin scene, but even that's pretty good because it's him reckoning with
Yeah, and
Everything.
that's not weak at all. I'd
Um,
say S, honestly.
S. Really,
Yeah, what do you think? I think it's better than
I would probably
by
go A,
standard.
but I think
it's got
it
that
has
whole
it
ending.
has the basements. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like I said, that's like
I just love how it's composed.
it's like my favorite plot twist ever. It's like one of my favorite scenes ever. And then also the scene with Faye and Grisha is also one of my favorite scenes.
I think just for being the culmination of everything, it kind of
Yeah.
has to be.
People rate this low though. You know what? That's why I'm hesitating because I've always seen people go like, "Oh, it's not that good." I mean, the production does fall, but it doesn't actually negatively
I don't-
impact the episode.
Care at all about it. S, I think.
I am agreeing with you now because the last scene is just so good. It just instantly, and the way they create tension in the episode, the whole time it's like
I
you're
think
on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, and I really, that sequence of them walking is just so, it's really kind of, it hit me this time, that them kind of walking around. Very
Yeah,
emotional. Perfect episode.
I agree. Yes,
Car.
the car is immediately so crazy.
It's crazy to see this if you didn't see the last episode. If you missed the plane scene, the car here is insane.
Yeah, I love how elegant it is too. It's crazy they're out here too. Like this is such a big deal for them.
Oh, that they're out of the internment zone seeing rich people?
Yeah. I mean, the first time watching, you can understand how much of a taboo this is.
Mm-hmm.
First mention of Eldians, this random racist guy.
So frustrating. Like, this is frustrating to get out of the Titan conflict into.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it so genius, is that the Titan conflict is this. I love the shot of it panning down to show this like green grassy field,
Yeah.
and the contrasted with the mechanical blimp.
Aaron Kruger.
Bad luck they got. It's funny.
Sergeant Major Gross.
Aaron Kruger was hanging out with this psychopath.
Does he have the Titan yet?
No, timeline wise, he couldn't.
Was he a restorationist yet?
Oh, for sure.
Weird. I wonder what he was doing at this point.
Sucks that Kruger. Well, I guess Gross probably would have killed whoever went with him. I was gonna say Faye would have been saved if Kruger went with her.
It sucks that he let her go off with Gross.
Yeah. This is the first Marley name drop.
Mm-hmm.
This guy. This guy's so evil.
That man grows to see the rumbling.
Yeah, I was about to say that. His parents get killed by Eren.
Aaron squad wiped his entire family. Literally every single one except for Zeke.
In both the manga and the anime, the way that the hatred is depicted in his eyes is really good.
Yeah.
It's like a void.
I love Isao's eyes drawings.
This is the densest sequence in the entire show.
Every time I've watched someone will go, whoa, can we start this over? Can we watch this over again?
Yeah. It's impossible to pick this all up on your first watch. Like, it's too much information. And I wonder, I don't think the manga is like that because, you go one panel at a time.
Yeah.
So I do think this episode should have been longer, or maybe it should have been 2 episodes. This is a crazy lore
And to
drop.
show the season 2 scenes finally. Season 2 ED, I mean to say.
But it's weird because our first intro to this history is
The Marley version.
The Marleyan version, yeah. Which, I mean, we don't know how much of it is it's true.
Slightly close to reality.
That's the first parody island reveal, too, that they're on the island.
walls are so tiny in it.
Oh, yeah, and they reveal that
Africa.
it's Africa. Which
Except
doesn't-
it snows on Madagascar for some reason.
Well, yeah, so the climate's all messed up because everything's like backwards with
Yeah.
the sun setting in the wrong one, the east, right? But the really funny thing is this also confirms that the official wall measurements could not be right because it's like several dozen times larger than the perimeter of Madagascar,
Mm-hmm.
or the world of AOT is just like comically enlarged.
Large, yeah. Which could make sense for the climate being so weird.
That lore dump is crazy though, and it changes everything. Anime fans love to like criticize AOT. The stuff it's talking about is actually really crazy for an anime to approach.
To approach it like intelligently too.
Yeah. There's other anime that try to tackle similar themes that I won't mention.
Okay.
Code
I'm
Geass.
just gonna say it. Code Geass does this very poorly.
Yes.
You can keep this in. This is my take. You don't have to take the bullet. I'll take the bullet here.
Yeah.
Code Geass is terrible at delivering these themes.
I love Grisha. Grisha's such a good character. I even like him when he's not doing plot related stuff. He's just so I mean, obviously not when he's an abusive dad, but he's such like he's my comfort character.
Gracious.
Yeah.
Grace is he was very bold to show him that just to this random guy.
Yeah.
That could like get him deported and killed instantly.
I was gonna say I've never thought it was a good idea that they were marking this symbol on their body, which would get them instantly turned into Titans.
And not only that, but that he openly talks about it with his doctor. Like, what is he thinking?
He was sent here by the owl because the owl knows Grisha's had the Faye incident happen.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, but it's still really goofy. It is funny. He just shows him this, and then that he
Yeah.
has it carved onto his body permanently. Dude, the scene is so funny because he says, "How do you know that?" But he says, "I don't."
Yeah. He's just applying to like emotion.
Yeah. The poster that Grisha has there is from the season 2 ED, but in the season 2 ED it's like way more faded.
They show the Eldian
Yeah.
restoration as symbol as well.
This episode is so hard to process first watch. It's like you get
It's hard to process even this watch. She's so aroused by his speaking.
probably because her family's been in hiding for 100 years.
Baby Zeke. That's a crazy reveal. Well, we didn't hear the name Zeke as the Beast Titan yet at this point.
We did.
When did we hear
'Cause
it?
they call him War Chief Zeke.
Oh, right.
They cut something interesting here. God, there's so much text on screen. Okay, so originally, and this is a good change in my opinion. The Marley government announces that Parody or the king declared war, and that's why they started the warrior program. Now, obviously, the claim that he declared war was a lie, and I think it's a good thing they cut that because we don't need another lie on top of all this exposition.
It's like when Pixis is like, Aaron is part of a secret program.
Yeah.
It just complicates it way too
yeah,
much.
good cut.
This scene kind of reminds me of that Pixis scene.
Yeah, except an evil version.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's because it parodies oil, or I guess iceberg stones.
Yeah.
Fossil fuel. Oh, so it is the iceberg stones.
Well, look at them talking about King Fritz's hypothetical rumbling.
Yeah, I feel like we already been over that. Didn't we talk about that? People say in the season 2 ED they're showing Aaron's rumbling, but like everything else in the season 2 ED, or almost everything else,
Yeah, it's not.
it's from this episode.
Yeah, it's talking about Fritz's hypothetical rumbling
Yeah.
as a concept, which is the same as Aaron's rumbling in that it's the rumbling, but still.
right.
I mean, you're right.
But it's different from if they were showing Aaron's rumbling there.
yeah, no,
It's
I mean, you're
fundamentally
correct.
different.
You're correct. It's the concept of a rumbling is what's being introduced.
Yeah. Okay, so there's going to be 3 times we can talk about this. How many Titans are in the walls? Number 1, millions upon millions, which, I mean, what?
Well, actually, no, I looked at the exact Japanese here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 10,000 on or 10,000 and 10,000 is the Japanese idiom, which just means a lot. So you can
Okay.
translate that as the uncountable, the 10,000s, or the millions and like it's just a
Okay.
translator decision here.
Okay. What about the other times?
They use the same wording every time they talk about the Titans
Oh.
inside the walls. So
Oh.
it literally is like ambiguous.
So they just change it in the subs.
yeah, essentially, because
Oh, okay.
Willie Tiber in the sub says the millions and millions of Titans in the walls, and I mean it would make sense that he would go with the most terrifying number
Oh wait, no.
imaginable.
Willie Tiber says tens of millions.
Or yeah, which is 10,000.
crazy.
Yeah, which is definitely wrong.
Yeah.
Tens of millions is objectively not possible.
Yeah.
I mean, mathematically, with the dimensions we're given, millions doesn't make sense. But
Yeah. Well, mathematically, it comes out to 400,000 or 800,000.
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But also, those dimensions can't be right because they're on
Yeah.
Madagascar, and the walls won't fit in Madagascar.
Yeah, I don't think
Clearly-
there's a calculable way to talk about this. There's just an absurd number.
Yeah. Clearly, Isayama did not actually calculate how many Titans there are.
No, he
All we know in the rumbling, there are certainly many. I would say at least 1 million, right? For how,
That's an
how much?
Uncle Adams song.
What?
He has a song called "At Least a Million."
That's not even a uncommon phrase. What the fuck?
It's not common at all. You said the name of an exact uncle.
Okay. I like how it's so obviously that one Titan and that guy
Grisha
too.
doesn't know that guy's gonna eat his son one day, and that his son's gonna eat him one day, and his son's gonna cause all of them to eat her one day.
Yeah. Like,
This scene, it literally looks like it's framed so nefariously. All of it is.
what is?
Like the way that the shadow appears over Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, this is Grisha's mistake here. Is he does the same thing that was done to him to Zeke, and I like how here it shows that transition that they're the
Their
same.
faces look the exact same.
Yeah.
I like how Mr. Casavar's here.
Yeah, and we didn't know what that meant for a long time.
Mhm.
We thought, who's this guy who was in the scene?
Did people
Um,
put together that he was in the first episode with Grisha too?
I think they did. I don't remember.
Mr. Casavar stays that age for so long.
Yeah, he does. But it's really cool how he sat on that reveal for so long. And it's also cool here how the airship is the one from the manga for some reason. I feel like everything before this should have been one episode. Like a whole episode.
Yeah, it's crammed, but it works. I think the next bit is more negatively impacted.
It's cool how they show, or they're at the ocean here, but it's like the Ymir scene where they don't show the ocean. Because it's there, but they save the reveal of actually showing it for, like, later. It's kind of like a grand reveal.
This guy looks so innocent.
I've always thought, even in the manga, he looks really funny. He looks like a child.
They should know Sonus's wisdom that he
That-
wouldn't talk after one fingernail. They're probably all fucking so mad at him. This dumbass kid.
Grisha was like their leader, and he's the only one who gets away too.
運が良かったら壁までたどり着けるぞ
They'd be so fucked if he actually did.
He could. There's no way. It's like a day's journey on horseback.
Yeah, but what if one of those Titans like isn't abnormal and doesn't care, and then he makes it far enough that the others don't see him?
Well, he wouldn't be able to get in anyways. He'd have no way to signal the guys outside the wall. Or inside
Those
the wall.
garrison men, they might see him, right?
I don't really look, do they?
I
There's no
don't
reason
know.
to. But yeah, we kind of brushed over this, but yeah, all these Titans are the ones in Trust. To a weird degree, like, there's several here that are the exact ones.
I wonder if he was planning that when he made that Santa Titan.
I think he had probably the general idea, maybe that it was one of Grisha's old friends or something.
I wonder if he could like hide behind a sand dune there.
I don't think so. Look at them. Look how hungry they are.
Yeah, but if they don't see him.
He made some good progress, though.
He did, I'm saying. If he like played, if he hid, and if they didn't run towards him immediately.
That's a crazy reveal, too.
It is. If only there was a YouTube title that spoiled all of that. Armin's fit here goes hard.
It does. I love the brown jacket. That's the one that ate meat at Carolina. They cut the part here where these soldiers say how they're disgusted by Gross. Even these guys hate him.
That's so funny. This is such a weird implication.
Oh, that he can decide which one? Or what
Well, it
class
implies
he
that
turns
there's a
into?
threshold amount of spinal fluid.
Yeah,
but
that
it
is
implies
weird.
that they still only make the syringes so that you can make one.
Yeah, because it seems like he doesn't have a different syringe from the other ones.
No,
So
he's doing less. I'm assuming he's putting
Yeah.
less fluid in, or he's shooting it somewhere weird.
No, he still does the neck, so I think it is.
Or maybe it's like a different vertebrae or something like that.
Yeah.
It implies that they've tried it out a little.
These are the questions Isayama doesn't have answers to.
No, he doesn't. God, it would be nice if they could make I mean, realistically, it's because they need the narrative dramas that they can only have Irwin and Armin one.
What do you mean?
They can't have enough in a syringe for two, otherwise they could make Irwin
Oh,
and Armin
yeah.
both Titans.
He'd be a mindless Titan, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but they could keep it around like Connie's mom.
How would they restrain it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for Irwin they would like literally have someone on like duty of constantly cutting off its limbs or some shit like that.
That'd be so evil. They just keep him around and constantly just
I mean,
shave
they
his limbs
restrained Sonny and Bean.
Yeah, but it's Irwin, and also they didn't know those guys were human.
Right, but I'm saying I think they could make this sacrifice for him
Okay.
for bringing him back.
This is such a good scene. And Isayama specifically told them to make it look like Gross is looking at the viewer here.
I've never noticed he looks right at the viewer. That's kind of sick.
Yeah. It's very unnerving.
Yeah, it really is. I've never noticed this at all.
This guy is definitely like the most evil character in the whole show. Gross has the worst philosophy of all time.
Yeah. He has empathy. He's like knowingly racist.
Yeah.
He's horrible.
Putting that Titan season 1 version side by side with this, you can really see the difference in the art style.
Yeah. It's a good thing he stalled like this, because Kruger was not making any great strides and moving towards it to save him.
Fuck this guy. This is so satisfying. I like the reveal of his balding head, too.
I like the reveal of that Titan. I love that he's a small one. 'Cause he made it that much worse for himself.
Yeah, he really screwed himself over. I love the when he cuts himself, how it pans over. It shows the blood
that's
splatter.
awesome.
I think that is animated, or maybe even reused animation from the Colossal Armored reveal. This is awesome. I love how he splits it in half, and
All the soldiers shooting at him.
it's immediately clear this is Aaron's Titan, which it's been a question for a long time where his Titan came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it is an unfortunate effect of them doing 2 chapters in this episode was manga readers had a month to wonder who the owl was.
Yeah.
But in this episode, it's immediate. What do you think? I think that one's amazing.
I
definitely,
love that episode.
I don't think it's as good as The Basement.
I would
but
put it S too.
I do. I think it's an S, but relatively, I would say it's. I mean, it's a crazy episode. That's one of the most influential episodes in this series. In terms of everything, I mean, like any series I've ever seen, that's probably one of the most dense, mind-blowing
I love
episodes.
that episode. I really dearly love that episode. I think S, if not higher.
Oh, no, not higher, but I don't think
yeah,
higher.
S is
I would go S for sure. I'm definitely not questioning it's an S.
Yeah.
It's just yeah, it's definitely rushed, and not all of it is like amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but in as a whole, it's like a compilation of insane reveals.
It's what it's like what everything's leading up to.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna push for S plus, but in my own personal, it probably is.
you think it would be?
That's my personal, but I mean, I'm not gonna
I don't think it's as good as those ones. It has some structural issues. Like it is, you cannot get
I can
everything.
look past structural issues when it's giving you what you've been waiting for the whole show.
Okay, that was fair.
Yeah, but yeah, S is fair.
Oh, that's the sweet looking guy from
Oh
earlier.
yeah, he's not gonna look so sweet in a second.
I'm glad he gets
God,
popped.
Fucking piece of shit. Glad he's dead. Kruger probably hated them all so much. This is
Oh,
probably
yeah.
so satisfying for him.
Here's the ocean reveal. This is the first clear shot they've shown of it.
Dude, Aaron was probably reading that like, no.
Least fitting opening ever.
It is crazy. They should have just skipped it.
The Aaron name reveal is so weird.
It is really weird.
What does it mean? I still don't know.
Like thematically?
Thematically and lore-wise, why is he named Aaron? So Grisha named his son after him? Or is it a kind of thing where Aaron named Kruger after himself? Is that the implication? Because
I
Aaron
don't
can
think
reach
so.
into the past?
I don't think he can do that. I don't think he did that much.
Grisha's not attached to Kruger. Why would he name his son after him? Is it like a subconscious thing?
I think he's partially trying to maybe he's trying to remind himself of his mission.
That could be it. I could see that angle.
In some capacity.
We forgot to mention the subject of Ymir. It's the
Mhm.
payoff for the Ilse's notebook.
It's about time something paid off from that.
He faked his blood test to pretend to be Marleyan, and he said he had the help of a doctor. Do you think the doctor was Xaver?
It's weird that Cassava would help him do that. Why would he help him? He's not like a restorationist at all.
There was a theory that I believed for a while that Kruger and Xaver were part of a conspiracy together to set up Aaron and Zeke, create the conditions needed for the founding Titan to be activated. Which, I mean, that was not true clearly,
Mm-hmm.
but it was interesting. I love the shot of Grisha standing alone like that. All the other Eldian restorationists were completely expendable because he could have saved them.
Why did he not save them?
What are they gonna do? They can't help at all. This group of guys shows up at the walls, and then they're just like, "What? What is all this?"
Have them like exist at the perimeter, I guess. I don't know.
With the Titans.
What do you think Marley thought happened here?
I think it was pretty clear there was a Titan attack here.
Right, but do they think... They probably don't even think Kruger defected. They probably never put together that it was Aaron Kruger.
Yeah, I don't know if they know it was Aaron Kruger. I think they would know that Grisha was involved. Would they know that?
They probably put it together later. They know about Grisha Yeager later.
But would they have a way of knowing that he was the one who got away here? Because later on, Zeke learns that Grisha's alive and that Grisha...
He probably thought his dad was dead here for a while.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because he doesn't know until they found out Aaron Yeager has the Titan.
Oh, right.
So then they can probably extrapolate that former prisoner Grisha Yeager survived.
So Zeke's probably been wondering what happened here for a while.
Yeah. This is a very visceral shot. And I love Kruger's peeking through and the light on his eye.
That closet metaphor is important.
Yeah. Oh, the 13-year reveal. This filled me with so much despair my first time.
That Aaron was going to die?
Aaron and Armin.
Yeah, because then it puts a timer on Armin immediately.
Yeah. It's like finding out they have cancer.
Yeah, it is.
Aaron becomes so out of it here.
Yeah.
He changes immediately.
This is more like the start of Doomer Aaron than you ever see. People act like season 4 was out of nowhere, but he's already acting like that here.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely gets worse when he decides he wants to do the rumbling because he hates himself so much. The thing about being inherited to a baby...
That's such a weird addition. I mean, it has to
It
be
has to be there because otherwise people would say, what,
what happened? People would be whining about it.
Everyone thought it would come back.
It seems so perfect that Historia was about to have a baby, too.
And I mean, there is an argument that for a minute there, her baby is the Beast Titan because Zeke dies right before it's born.
I did not process Pats as a proper noun when I first read.
I love the reveal that it's what Scout Ymir saw. I quoted this in my Ymir video, how all the depictions of her are wrong, except this one, the source of all living matter. That's the correct one. It ties into how she is just like a random girl, but it's all been distorted so much. This is another really packed episode. I think the pacing in this one's better, though.
I feel like he could have left Dinah alive here.
I mean, you could also maybe argue that he wanted her dead.
I mean, if she gets the founder, she's not going to be willing regardless. She's still bound by the will to renounce.
Yeah, he might have just wanted all the royals dead so they couldn't get it again.
Dude, I don't know. I'd be kind of interested in Grisha's shoes here. And every time he doesn't like revenge, he just seeks it and then hates it.
We talked about this in the last video, but he always tries to get away from revenge, and it keeps pulling him back, and he regrets it every time.
He never enjoys it. He doesn't even enjoy it for a second. He just falls in. He just knee-jerk does it. Aaron says that exact same thing. Exact same framing.
Oh, yeah, this is the exact same as when
120.
Aaron tells him to kill the Rice family.
121, yeah.
Like how he brought the photo.
That's so psycho.
He knew he was going to manipulate him from the start.
Aaron does this like word for word. He's literally just ripping off Aaron Kruger here.
He learned from the best.
He did. That's probably the Aaron name parallel more than anything to set up for that.
I love Grisha's expression there, seeing the wings of freedom. It's like he's almost like in a trance there too.
The Attack on Titan.
That would be the craziest reveal ever if the title hadn't been mistranslated.
She does look like emaciated.
Yeah, so many people thought that it was a reveal that Ackermans get their power from the sun, like Titans do. She was powering down because she's been out of the sun for too long. I guess they did cut it. Maybe I think we just missed it, where Armin says, he tells Hanji, he's like, yeah, I know why Aaron's being weird, and I'll tell you later, but they don't follow up on it.
This is where Ymira's flashback happens in the manga.
Yes, everything from season 2. Of course, they cut the parts of that flashback that would reveal anything significant.
It's a great move to move it there.
The weirdest part of this scene is she gets a path vision from touching the note.
It is so weird that works that way.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it has any basis.
Paths is just like magic, basically. The story's not even going to tell her about the vision.
I guess she does off-screen, probably. But yeah, obviously, she moves on so fast from that because it didn't actually happen in canon.
Why not?
It's added. They didn't rewrite to compensate for the fact she just got projected information into her mind.
Does that not happen in the manga?
Oh, did you not know that?
What?
In the manga, Ymir writes her backstory.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they added the path vision.
Oh my god, no. I was completely misunderstanding what you're saying.
They added that path vision because they'd already shown Ymir's backstory and they didn't want to have to, show it again. Yeah, he is very much like Season 4 Aaron in the scene.
Nom, 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 nom. He's like Season 4 Aaron every time after he looks at the basement. Aaron's villain arc basically has already begun.
This ties it back into what Kenny and Yuri talk about. How Yuri... Oh yeah, they show it right there. Yeah, he knows the paradise will collapse at like any moment. There's so much cool symbolism in this one.
Mm-hmm. Those eyes are crazy.
Yeah. She looks so tortured.
Yeah.
I mean, Frida's a victim too in a weird way.
No, not even in a weird way. She just is.
This is so hard to understand, the reveal of why he was able to do that in Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of my favorite reveals in the show, actually, because it's so out there, but everything clicks into place perfectly. Like, I calls him our Titan.
Yeah. He's our guy.
In a way, I mean, the people start to revere him after this. He really is like their savior.
One hope, yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't want to tell them what he figured out because he knows Historia would be immediately... they would want to turn her into a Titan.
This episode is really the one that sets up the rumbling more than anything else.
Yeah. This is such a good scene. What'd you think reading this for the first time?
I do not remember at all.
Everyone reacts to this like, what? Wait, what? Like, everyone has that reaction.
Yeah.
It's like the colossal armored thing.
Where they sneak words into the subtitles, like past you almost.
Yeah. Him saying Armin and Mikasa is such a mind-blowing thing. Because, I mean, the only time time travel has been a thing in this show before was episode 1 with the Aaron's dream. But somehow it doesn't feel like a shark jumping moment.
No, it's like a...
It's like
it's like a
what?
It is new.
Yeah. I think that's an amazing episode.
It's a great one.
It's in a weird position where I think overall it's a better paced episode than the last one.
I love how overwhelming 57 is, though. I think 58 is slightly worse.
Yeah, I agree. It's not as good. I think it's an S still, honestly.
I think that's fair.
I mean, I could see an argument for A, but I do think everything is so good. Grisha and Kruger's talk is so foundational. The scene with Aaron and the scouts talking, the reveal of the coordinate, basically, is also really good.
It really sets up, like, 57 is almost like the past, like telling you everything that's happened up to now, and 58 is almost telling you basically what's about to happen.
I'm really on the line between...
It is.
S and
I think it's better than all the ones in A. It might be about as good as, like, Scream.
Yeah.
Beast, Titan, and Wall. I don't know.
I'm leaning more towards A now after thinking about it, because the real mind-blowing... I mean, this is a crazy episode, for sure.
It's more implications that are crazy in this one, I think.
Yeah. It's not as outright mind-blowing or transformative as the past one. I mean, what do you think? 'Cause this is gonna...
I'm leaning A. I think A is
I think it's
good.
just short of S.
A.
Do you think Grisha even remembered this? Because I mean, he says it later, but is he saying? I don't think he's saying it consciously.
This one conversation really stuck with both him and Aaron.
In only this version of this shot, which we've seen many times,
Yeah, Mika says
Mika says-
teleported in.
Mika says here,
She's like Ray.
"Where did she come from?" They reanimated. Well, they only added her. Like the others, old. God
Skip
damn it!
God damn it. This is so unfitting. Get this out of here.
Why? Who thought this was a good idea?
Skip it. It's so sad knowing where this ends.
In what sense specifically?
Well, like I was watching Armin like look at Aaron mysteriously. They're like sadly at the end of the last one and getting sad, remembering how they
Kill
their
each
last-
other?
Their last conversation.
Oh yeah. So they have the choice here to repeat the actions of the old government and censor information from the outside world. It seemingly comes down to Pixis and Historia's decision to tell the people the truth, which is obviously a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it is telling them that is the reason why the Jaegerists come to power. So in a weird way, they did the right thing, but it seals their own doom.
Yeah.
I like how they're back with the newspaper guys. Structurally, this is crazy as a season finale. Like
It is weird. Like you'll never see a show do this.
like the biggest battle in the series ended, and like the Titans are defeated, and the main goal got reached. But then, oh yeah, they're all about to come over and kill us. Like it's weird.
Huh. Yeah.
I think this is very realistic. How a lot of the people are straight up in denial that there could be people outside the walls, or they think it's a conspiracy. Because it is unbelievable. It doesn't even really feel real until the first episode of season 4.
Levi suggesting propaganda.
Oh,
They could have stood to post a little propaganda.
Yeah, they could have. And the ending of the series is, for a parody, I mean, obviously we see the flash forward, but the ending for the parody itself is bleak with the Jaegers in power.
Yeah.
He gets real here. I like how his eyes widen.
This like literally ruined Flock's life.
He did.
His goofy ass hair, dude. Everyone acts like it was an altruistic thing on Flock's part, and he's acting like it was for the good of the people. It was literally a personal vengeance on his part. It sucks. It does kind of suck on. I feel so bad for Armin this season.
Even these military guys all giving him the cold shoulder.
Realizing none of them are, they're all looking away like indignants.
Yeah. He's right here, but he ultimately goes way too far, obviously.
Yeah. That's his one sympathetic thing, his cowards like me quote. God, he's such a baby here. I'm so expendable. I'm fodder. Shut up, you baby. Aaron's trying to get Armin not to want to kill himself here. Well, this is like their last adventure.
It is. Well, it ends immediately because reality is about to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
This is the exact moment where he realizes that it does not exist. I think that is the moment he realizes it's all
That
make
his
believe.
dream is gone.
Yeah.
The dream it was never there.
Yeah.
Why do all the background guys look so
Oh.
weird?
God, I've never noticed that before.
They look like Mii's. They look like the Mii's of the Nintendo executives. It looks like the Iwata Mii.
It's horrible.
You know exactly what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
I do.
Why do they look so weird?
I don't know.
Do you think
what
they're like supposed to be
happened.
like models of like guys who worked on it or something?
That could be, but
Feels like a lot of work. What the fuck is going on? Why do they look? That is such a weird shot.
I've never noticed. I've never seen
Why
anyone
are
talk
there-
about this.
Why are all the Garrison 3D?
Would
Why
it-
do they look so
Would
weird?
it have been that much more work to make these guys on the Edge 2D?
I don't understand.
And also, how has no one ever noticed this before?
This is a weird shot.
This is distressing to me.
They don't look right. They don't look like they're in this show. What the fuck? This is so weird.
I like how she's giving them the medals that Erwin and the other leaders have been wearing the whole show.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that.
So doomer now. Because he's talking about Faye. He's saying Faye's murder will be repeated. Is that intentional?
I tend to think not, but it's weird.
Basically, this shot looks weirdly like the shots of Aaron's.
What do they call it now?
It's called the Final Titan.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. It looks like that facing forward, and it did not in the manga. So a lot of
Mhm.
people think this was intentional. Because she is. I mean, you said this. that
She is giving him that future.
Yeah, she is. But I mean, she herself is not doing it.
Right, but it's like about to happen.
Yeah. But I mean, it could be intentional. But Isayama doesn't really do imagery like this, and also the fact it wasn't in the manga.
Had 120 come out by this point?
No,
Okay, so no, I kind of doubt it.
I doubt it too. But I mean, maybe it's an unintentional thing. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. This is when it all
Crazy.
really went wrong.
This is the moment the world was doomed. Literally,
Yeah.
it's unchanging at this point.
Mm-hmm. It's set in stone when he sees it. I mean, it's set in stone the whole time, technically. So he sees himself talking to himself?
He's seeing Grisha's memory of Aaron's memory of seeing Grisha. Wait, let me.
So Aaron in 121 sees Grisha. That memory goes back to Grisha, and then is filtered back to this Aaron.
yeah.
So he's seeing his own POV in the future
In that chapter,
with his dad as the in-between.
Yeah, in the race cave, everything that Grisha sees, when Grisha sees Zeke, you'll notice that all the shots are from Aaron's point of view.
Yes.
Like Grisha cannot see Zeke outside of Aaron's point of view because only Aaron is literally in paths with Zeke there.
Mm-hmm.
So of course Aaron can see him. So Grisha is getting Aaron's memories of Aaron being there, and here Aaron is getting Grisha's memories of Aaron's memories. One of the biggest debates in the whole show is what Aaron saw there exactly. And I mean, I've talked about this a lot, and we'll go quickly, but especially after the anime clarified it or made it things more direct, I think there's no chance that Aaron saw that he would ultimately get killed by Mikasa there.
You think he didn't see it?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think all he saw was him doing the rumbling, and I think he saw some other random stuff. I think he saw maybe Sasha's death. He has that scenery, which is the freedom shot, where he's in the sky looking at the rumbling.
I think he probably just sees like a really collage of the rumbling shit. Yeah, I don't think he's made sense of what he's seen yet.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it more because a lot of people say he knows everything at this moment.
No, he doesn't know everything.
That he's gonna.
It's certainly limited because Grisha doesn't even know everything.
Yeah, because Grisha doesn't know that Aaron gets stopped.
And it all has to kind of go through Grisha.
Yeah.
Everything has to go through Grisha to get to Aaron here.
Exactly, yeah.
And Grisha says, "Why didn't you show me everything?"
Yeah.
Therefore, Aaron cannot have seen everything at this point.
Yeah. So this is another one of Wit's speeches that they do at the end of every season.
And this one's very clearly said by Armin.
Yeah. All these months going by in an instant here is mind-blowing the first time.
This must have been the worst year of Aaron's.
Yeah, it's crazy. After everything that's been happening over the past few months in this universe, finally they get some downtime.
He's got to be processing it all right now.
Yeah. And I love how they just go through this because it really is just, it's not important. Like, they won. I like how you can still see all the damage to Tross. And later they put that...
It's only been 1 year since the attack on Tross, which is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Tross. That's Shiganshina. Yeah, it's crazy to think that, like the whole time there weren't as many Titans as they assumed. Like, there were none outside of Walmaria.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks.
It's like ironic almost.
Yeah.
Because the Titans really were not a big threat.
He's so depressed.
His 16-year-old design, which is only in this scene in I think 1 or 2 in season 4.
Yeah.
Very, very unique.
It is interesting.
The long hair. You think that one's a baby?
Oh shit! I don't know.
Why is it like that? And it's moving so slow.
Did this thing get healed in the rumbling? Did this thing get to go human?
Probably, yeah.
He's probably just suffocating in the middle of a field somewhere.
The fact that it moved this slow to the point where the grass and stuff is growing over it, it's such a cool detail.
It's so sad.
And I love how it comes full circle with Aaron giving empathy to a Titan.
People really misinterpret what he says here.
Yeah. I mean, the fellow patriot line is a callback to Grisha's words in the book. Not that Aaron is...
Not that Aaron suddenly shares his father's views.
Yeah, Aaron is not an Eldin restorationist. They added this, I think, this character moment with him, or he wants to kill it. Because he's still not... He's, not on their wavelength.
He really isn't. This really would be like the ending on a traditional thing. Aaron and Armin get their ending here.
I mean, that's why it's so genius. It's like a twisted version of it.
Yeah.
Where everything's wrong.
It's nice their ocean scene wasn't at the dock over there. That would have been much more depressing.
Yeah. It's such a payoff.
It makes sense. It's like the ending of everything.
Yeah. I like how they curve the ocean to make it seem like dreamlike almost. The way they animated the waves is so pretty looking. They have this flashing white filter over it, so it is very dreamlike.
It's a sweet scene. It's just sad.
You got so sad. This is definitely one. This is maybe one of my favorite moments in the show. Like top
yeah,
3
I
probably.
mean, yeah, it is.
In any other show, this would have been like a triumphant scene.
Well, it is. It is like it's the ending of their dream. It
Yeah.
should be the end, but it isn't, and that's the. It is like the series is going on in spite of itself intentionally.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love this so much, and the fact that he's like separated from them. I mean, it's such a little thing, but he is like mentally and physically.
Not really with them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because he already knows he's gonna kill all of them, which adds so much more context to the scene.
Don't drop the shell.
He doesn't drop it; he takes it with him. But it's very symbolic of him giving up on the dream with Aaron. I love this sequence too.
It is a very confused depiction of what's to come.
It is. I mean, a lot of stuff here does not show up, or not a lot, but
No, it explicitly does not come to pass.
some of it's generic scenery. Like that's the coast of Marley when the scouts are going to visit for the first
Yeah.
time, and that's from right after.
Yeah, that's Sasha death.
Yeah.
This is the best OST in the show.
This scene is powerful, and
This-
it's just credits. This is finding out the attack on Marley was successful.
yeah.
I think this is definitely post rumbling
Yeah,
for sure. That's definitely Fort
it's
Salta.
intentionally.
I've always wondered how much input from Isayama they got for these scenes, and it seems like some of them are just nonsense. But and then there's this one last shot of Aaron. Of course that's Armin talking to Annie, but the Aaron shot is not from anything. It's similar to that one of him looking out the window after his friends get put in jail. So what is this?
So these 4 kids look like Willie Tyver's kids.
They look almost identical.
And we were analyzing this once and kind of worried that had something to do with something, and it didn't.
What? What does that mean? Something to do with something?
We thought it was going to come back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We thought this was going to come into play.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it? What is this?
It is like the exact design of his kids.
Yeah, they're incredibly similar.
Yeah.
But what is the symbol they're wearing? And I could understand if it was a generic shot of like school children,
And it's just trying to be like propagandized children.
but the symbol makes it weird because they invented the symbol for this scene. These shots all filled me with wonder for years, so it's kind of sad they didn't pay off.
They meant nothing.
And I was-
okay, let's rank this thing.
I was so sure they did because this was so late into AOT that I thought for sure they wouldn't add random stuff. But oh
'Kay.
well,
That's a good one.
that's it. It's only a good one.
That's a great one. Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite episodes. I think it's such a good send off to the first part of AOT.
I love the ocean scene.
Yeah, ocean scene is one of the best scenes in the show.
It really, I mean, that's sort of the, like,
What?
I think it's the peak.
The ocean scene?
Yeah. No, well, not that there's nothing better than it after, but it's
Oh.
like the
Yeah.
the culmination. Everything's almost like it's like the before and after.
Yeah, definitely. It's so beautiful. It's so thematically like rich.
The corner is being turned.
Yeah. It's I mean the rest of the episode isn't that great, but I think it's such a good send off, not send off, but it's such a good chapter end for AOT. I would say it's not S plus obviously, but I do think it's an S just for how well done it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how you think. What do you
I think S works.
When this came out, I was really hoping because this is technically a season 2 OVA,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really hoping they would do Sasageo, which would be really unfitting. But that's what they did for the other OVAs.
Yeah. It is weird. We are kind of watching this really late.
It's funny how Reiner like is writing her letters in code.
What is that little stain on her letter?
Is it just a?
It's like a chocolate spot.
Is it like a postage? Ew. What is that?
It's grody.
Reiner left that for her. It's weird how this recontextualizes it to where they knew each other this well before we saw them in season 1 together.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
It seems like she's not really close to anyone, but she interacts with Boris Fielner in this episode, which
Well,
is odd.
how canon is the characterization in this one anyway?
I don't consider this canon.
But I mean, do you think the characters are mostly in line and all that?
Yeah, I do. This doesn't like conflict with canon, but I also don't think it's. I mean, Isayama didn't write this. And I don't think he cares about it either.
It also has one big problem, which we'll get
Oh,
to
yeah.
soon. What is Annie O'Hitch at this point?
She's doing this favor for her in exchange for having tomorrow off. Hitch is filling in for her, so Annie can go.
I thought she was talking about a prior thing to that.
Yeah, because Annie wants time off so she can go chase the
Yeah.
scouts. It makes me sad there was no more OVAs after this. But
It's
I mean,
Carly Stratman.
for our watch, it's a good thing.
It doesn't make me sad at all.
It's Boris Fielner.
He looks like Link. Why is he dressed like Link?
I like this guy, and I like his paintings, which could almost be confused for photographs, which would really cause an issue. I would love to know what the story behind this is and why Annie got a detective OVA. I mean, like the manga it was based on. Or I guess it was a light
Why it
novel.
was written in the first place?
Yeah. What a weird premise.
I mean, it's kind of cool to get to see a little more of her. It feels like she goes too soon in season 1.
Is that Marlo? It is Marlo. It's funny that this interaction is before he like has this whole freak out with the corrupt guys. They're talking like it already happened, like she already knows him.
Maybe he's had several outbursts. I feel like they'd have killed him if he did.
Even this far in, they're still showing it as a forest and not a...
Oh, and it's his old design.
Oh yeah, wow.
He looks so good.
I forgot they show him that clearly again.
That scene is so weird when you don't understand like the Titan thing yet.
How so?
Because Annie, Annie's one of these people, but she has a dad and also access to like punching bags in the middle of a forest somewhere.
Oh yeah.
It's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's like it gives you weird details.
Well, they're not really accurate details.
No, they're not. But
Considering he lives in a dilapidated sewage.
that is such a
Whatever
weird
it is.
retcon. It's pit leaders. Oh fuck! We're gonna see some brigands with a sausage soon.
I was about to say, I hope we find out what they eat around here. This guy's pulled right from like a yaoi manga.
Dude, I know the Tumblr girls are obsessed with this guy.
They were all gone by this point.
This is 2016, right?
This is 2018. Very late 2017 or early 2018.
We can assume this takes place in an alternate universe where Parody is for some reason able to have limes, despite also snowing and also not having coffee.
Yeah.
Also being an island. It's really not very clear
It's
how
so
Parody
stupid.
exists at all.
I mean, okay, according to this, they're tropical enough to have like lime farms.
But they also have heavy snows in season 2.
Yeah, no, they should not have limes here.
Also, it's labeled and bottled. It's weird that they have mass-produced limeade.
Did she find the Corduroy stash?
Corduroy? Is that a real thing?
No. Corduroy is a big problem in Walsina.
It's an
It's
epidemic.
very prevalent. He really just pulls it from the bag and takes a handful.
It's like a sensu bean. That cat hissing triggered her.
They cut into Marco's death scream. It's
That was so
funny.
silly.
What the fuck?
Please put audio in for that part.
I will. What the fuck is this?
That cut is so stupid.
Like, oh,
Play it again.
what is the storyboard for this scene? Two guys are flipping shit sausages and
They're 3D.
cackling.
The sausages are 3D.
This scene is so fascinating.
Look at them. What were they laughing at? Was
Oh wait,
was
it's
the-
4 guys. They're just watching. The other
Yeah.
guys are watching.
well, well, they only have 3 sausages, so only one of these guys is not gonna have one. How's he doing that with his blade? That's actually impressive.
It is impressive. The fact that they're both staring at it was such an evil, gleeful, like, they're so amused by it.
Do you think they're laughing at the sausage turning? Do you think they're just?
I think it is, yeah.
Are they laughing at some evil like
Well, they are.
brigandry that they've been doing?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, they're laughing because they're brigands, right? We agree on that much.
Well, I mean, I would say it's in their character to laugh because they're brigands, but I don't know if it's maybe the root of their laughter. I feel like there's a little more to say. I like the hand placement. I really like. Okay, wait. Let's talk about these 2 guys.
So one's got his shirt off, and he looks to be wearing like a very.
He's wearing a bag. he's in a potato sack.
He's standing in a potato sack.
What is that thing in front of him? There's like a. What is that? Is that
Wait.
part of the fire pit?
Yeah, it is. See, it's like.
Why is the fire pit so big?
ケンパー・ボルツという男を知ってる
Why did they laugh? Why did they laugh? They were too distracted by the sausage.
It's not a funny question.
It's not. I don't think they're laughing at it. I think they're laughing at the sausage. I think they're ignoring her. So she's willing to let them continue their sausage cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. Oh,
So-
that's his sausage turner. Oh my god, he almost used it for a much more evil thing. So, okay, how much heat does it take to cause someone to go delirious? We can know what they're cooking their sausage at.
Probably 500 degrees. It's
No
as
wonder
hot as
they
the
look like
surface of the sun.
No wonder they look like little lumps of charcoal.
It burned all their body hair off.
Yeah, it did. Look at them. They're all fucking clean.
You know, they're so close to the wall too.
They are close to the wall. Oh my god, those guys probably didn't survive the rumbling. And they know Kemper bolts. That's another thing that's important.
Yeah.
They know him enough that they know his address, so they've likely been here.
That is a lot of corduroy.
Whatever that is.
What do you think that sells for?
Dude, corduroy is at least a couple coppers.
Is it more or less than a prostitute?
Is that Kemper bolts?
Yeah. She had to confirm he was dead.
He'll never share sausage with them again.
Oh, there's an ED for those. I forgot.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. This is kind of cool. I like this shot.
This is a cool ED.
Yeah.
These are all like original shots for this, right?
Yeah, it is. It was cool seeing a new shot of Marcel that wasn't in the manga, and also before RTS.
Yeah, they don't show him enough.
It's fun. I'm glad it exists. What do you think? Fun episode, not much to it. I like seeing more of Stohess. I like the architecture. It's a cool setting. I like the brigands. I like their sausage. I like their laugh.
It's okay. I really don't have much to say. I feel like
Yeah, it's very forgettable.
it's better than all the other D ones, but I feel like it's still like
No, it's not a D. It's come on. It's way better than Ilse's Notebook in Distress. This one's like competently written and there's a plot.
okay, fine. We'll throw in C.
This is the only time they show how her dad's leg got injured.
So is that canon?
Yeah, it is.
At least that one flashback is canon.
Yeah, because I don't think they don't show her beating her dad in the other flashbacks.
I always just thought he was I kind of forgot about this. I always just thought he was like mildly sickly in the
He looks right there.
kind of. His face is still too tall.
Yeah, but he has a different design, definitely than the last shot, right?
That's weird.
Maybe Isayama saw the last one. He's like, you need to fix this now.
These were probably produced at the exact same time.
They came out later. This one came out 6 months later.
What? I thought the first two came out together.
It was 3 or 6 months later. It was a while.
But then the Mikasa one came later?
Yeah.
That is weird to have the like gap in between.
Yeah. I had to rewatch the first one because I had no idea what had happened by the time
You
this
couldn't
one came
remember
out.
Kemper Bolts and the Brigands?
No.
Why are we even saying brigands? They haven't done anything brigandly. they're just like rabble rousers.
Okay, so it's newly developed. It's expensive but addictive. Any drug experts
Oh,
know what drug they're referring to?
Yeah, drug experts sound off in the comments. It's Levi.
So the 2013 fan art drew Levi.
It's Kenny. He really does look like Kenny in a weird way. Why does he have this like grain of dumbass with him?
Well, that'll be his downfall. Sorry to spoil it.
I remember very little about this.
This is a very fast-paced conspiracy.
Yeah, holy shit. This is it's like unfolding in real time.
They were waiting for her to step out of that apartment.
They're like 5 steps ahead in real time. Lou is such a simpleton. He reminds me of Salacious Crumb. If she was pushed to it, do you think she would have unveiled the female Titan to save herself here?
I think you're forgetting what happens. His name is Wald.
Oh my god.
You think they're related?
How did this go unseen?
Don't question it, okay? It looks cool.
How the fuck did this go unseen?
There's a lot of smoke. And
There's
you know,
lightning canonically.
Not many brigands around these parts.
In the anime, there's canonically lightning, and her thing is still there. In the anime, it is canon. Wald isn't like, what the fuck just happened? He's like very calm about this.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it. I think that's the implication.
What does it matter if he saw it? Something unexplainable just happened to him. He would still be like, what?
Lou's betrayal hurts.
It does.
He accepts it so calmly, too.
Did Annie transfer her consciousness?
No, I just don't think a bullet to the heart would kill a Titan shifter. It's funny how he doesn't question how she just resurrected from the dead.
He really doesn't question anything. His carriage just exploded after she scratched herself with the ring.
In the past
she had
5 minutes, he just accepted that the supernatural exists.
Something unthinkable just happened to him. I'm not paying that much attention to their stupid plot.
I've watched this so many times and I still don't really understand.
I could not
The
recap
conspiracy.
what their conspiracy is. Why does Lou not question what just happened to him? He's back to normal after exploding.
In the past 5 minutes, those characters all got introduced, and then Lou betrayed Wald, and then Lou got taken out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they compressed 2 episodes into one here, which is probably a good thing for our sake. Now we know how their shit gets processed.
No, it was nuclear. It's like chemical waste.
Oh, that's disappointing. Not the limeade again.
Wait, is it allowed to have donuts either? That could
Probably
be.
not.
I don't know.
But I can buy that more than limeade. It's interesting world building that there's like products they can't get anymore because the society that made them is gone. Maybe something.
This is such a weird reveal.
It is. It is very weird.
This
They
is
need-
like a.
What?
It's like a murder mystery if you like turn the volume down.
I like how now that she has leverage on him, so she completely drops the like military police act.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun. I mean, she must be pissed after having to do this all day. Like, she has no stake in any of this.
She does genuinely just want it to be over.
Do you think that gets filtered back into their town's water supply?
It said it does. It says it gets down to a clean level.
They drink Kemper. That's why she targeted Gunther Schultz first.
True. Does her dad know that she went out of the city?
What? Oh, the dad. I don't remember. I don't care either.
Not either.
Do you think during the mission she was thinking about Kemper bolts? It was probably still on her mind.
The sausage probably was.
Well, thoughts? About exactly the same as the first one, I'd say. I'd still say it's better than Ilse's Notebook in Distress. It's just like a whatever. I like the scene where she transforms. The mystery, if you actually try to follow it, is comprehensible. It's okay. It's like whatever.
It's a little too neat in some ways. I don't hate it. It's fine.
Yeah, nothing else to say about
There's
this.
so
You're
little
gonna
to
see.
say.
It's the final OVA.
Thank God. And this one's a snooze fest too.
I don't think it's that bad.
That ugly ass bug.
People tried to pull so much meaning from this OVA, but it really is just like, I mean, maybe it's somehow thematically it's relevant, but people thought this was like foreshadowing like alternate timelines or something, but it definitely is not. I don't understand what the purpose of this OVA is. I mean, I guess thematically it's fine, but it is weird with like we'll see later. There's like the Mirror Man.
It's weird they maintained her sewing thing here.
Yeah, when this came out, we knew about or it was like around the time of the tattoo
came back.
reveal.
Was this just reused from season 1?
Yeah, but there was a butterfly here the whole time.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I was there the whole time. The problem is Isayama literally just did not write it.
It really does seem like he wasn't very involved in the writing of these spin-offs.
Yeah.
It seems like he approved it. And the only example I know for sure of that is with the American novel Garrison Girl. He did read it and like give his stamp of approval. I'm guessing he did the same thing for these ones. But he probably wasn't like going in and directing them what to do.
Is Garrison Girl in line with the canon?
I don't think it is canon, but I remember the author talked about how she wanted to include Erwin, but she couldn't because the timeline didn't match up.
That's kind of cool.
That?
It's not that cool. Were the last ones numbered too?
Yeah, they were 16.5. This one's question marks. It is kind of interesting seeing this alternate parallel where she wasn't horribly traumatized.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they made this more dreamlike than they did. And later it gets like really surreal, but
Oh, with the clown.
yeah, I wish they had made it more, or like just the visuals more dreamlike or something. I don't know. I wish there was just more to this.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Oh, those are the traffickers. Their plan was foiled by the pack of feral wolves.
AOT world would be different if these dogs were just a little more hungry that day.
I know it's like kind of maybe pointless to try to analyze this, but she's like altering the timeline so that Aaron stays alive? Is it my
Yeah, I mean
takeaway?
this is her fantasy, right?
Yeah.
I love his like naive confidence in Armin's intelligence.
Yeah.
It's just funny. He's like, "Yo, that's my smart friend." Oh shit! Moses Braun's arm is about to make its first appearance in this fantasy world.
I didn't know Moses was actually in this one.
Well, his arm. Mikasa's very distraught by the arm.
Oh, there's
Mm.
future Aaron.
Oh yeah.
I think we
There's
said
future Zeke in the bottom right.
we made the same exact joke last
No, we did it
time.
with a different shot. I remember.
Let's just say a certain disgruntled old man is about to get away with beating a child, unlike the real timeline.
Oh
'Cause
shit.
she doesn't have combat experience. Because in the real one, she pulls him away here. He has what?
Preeclampsia.
What is that?
Is that real?
It is real. Oh, it's a pregnancy thing. Grisha's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, that is. I feel like.
They'd be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
The scouts are gone.
What?
What changed?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why would the scouts have completely changed?
And they sealed the wall with bricks.
I bet that old man who beat up Aaron got a little too he went on a victory lap after beating Aaron and then successfully got the scouts disbanded.
And what else could it be?
You know, it seriously has to be related to that. I can't imagine anything else related to this that changed.
She f***ed over the entire island.
The world. Well, actually, the world's probably better off for it.
Oh yeah, the hot air balloon. So they're gonna get shot down by the interior military police, right? Just like
Don't
Armin's
Do
parents.
it, Aaron. This is really bold, even for Armin.
I mean, you would think because you hear the hot air balloon, and this is right after uprising, so the interior military police are coming for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what'll happen.
I don't remember how it actually gets taken down. I'm guessing that it's not that.
Okay, this is really weird. Do you remember this at all?
Yeah, I do. The mirror thing.
It's like her subconscious forcing her to acknowledge the reality that Aaron is going to die. Death is ingrained.
Is it
within
just
his
referring to him
body.
having a Titan?
I don't think it's referring to anything. I mean,
There's maybe a narrative obviousness that he's not going to make it to the end.
yeah. The green and red lighting is the same as when she kills the kidnapper. It's like a recreation.
It is weird that he somehow activated her.
I think it's like her, isn't it? I don't think he exists. Oh, that's the preacher from episode 2.
Oh.
The one who quotes
says-
Dante's Inferno.
Oh, Avarice.
It's weird. They're under the tree too.
I don't even remember what happened here. Come on.
It just hit the wall too hard.
You splattered his brains.
Yeah, so I guess this author's maybe just assuming Aaron dies from context clues, or maybe Isayama told them.
Yeah, or maybe it's more general that
Maybe it means
life
nothing.
Life is short. He will eventually die as a human being.
Oh, the season 1 ending's kind of cool.
Kind of like that it has that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about as good as the first 2 Lost Girls. It's certainly
I would not.
it's not bad.
I remember it
like-
being more boring than it was. It's kind of like a nice assortment of scenes.
Yeah,
Nice sentimentality to it.
yeah. I like the kind of revisiting the season 1 stuff. It's a fun hypothetical. The hot air balloon is still really funny to me. I was so convinced it was gonna be the
The MP
MPs,
shut him down.
yeah.
That's
Okay,
so funny.
C tier.
C tier, yep. We're done with season 3
Season 3's
and the
finally over.
OVAs.
I mean, this is one of the best seasons ever made.
Season 3 part 2 is perfect.
As a whole, like out of anime or maybe any shows, this is like a perfect season of TV.
I binge it pretty much every time. Even it's what, 4 hours of content?
yeah,
Less
or
than?
something like that. Yeah, every single episode's good. Thunder Spears. I mean, honestly, I could see us moving that up to B.
Leave that in C.
Yeah,
That's probably a little ridiculous.
you think so?
We'll talk about it later though. I think
Well,
season
I mean,
3 part 2 is just a perfect season.
yeah. I mean, there's not much to say. It's the payoff of everything that's come before. It's a perfect season. Perfect character conclusions for so many characters.
the first I don't think you could ask for any better action climax than the first
Yeah.
half, and then the second half is like a
The
crazy turn for it.
the only problems with it are the production kind of falls off at a point.
It should have been a
And
little longer.
Yeah, and the other thing is the pacing. It could have used like an extra episode.
I
But-
don't find a problem. I love how overwhelming that day is.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a point I hadn't
Yeah.
really thought about. But
It has a very overwhelming appeal to it.
compared to the other seasons, this definitely has the most high-ranking ones. So I'd say best season yet. Yeah,
Yeah, undoubtedly. Beautiful.
Well, we will see you in season 4 hopefully soon.
I love you guys. Hopefully,
If it doesn't take me-
hopefully it's not 2025 by the time this is up.
Which is a very real possibility.
Oh God, don't even say that.
No, I will not
It's
let
not
that
even
happen.
gonna be summer yet.
I will not let that happen.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye guys.